Warning: all stories could be completely made up, and we have no way to confirm that. Any and all names mentioned in the show are most likely fake. We at Campfire Moto Stories are not journalists and should not be considered as much. If you're offended by anything said or shown in this episode, we don't care, but we encourage you to voice your opinion so we can laugh at the fact that you can't control your emotions. This program contains full language, and I recommend no one to watch or listen to this.
The views and opinions expressed in the program are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the sponsor, any advertisers, or the sponsor's affiliates, employees, or partners.
Coming to you live from the Claremont Lounge in Atlanta, Georgia, it's Campfire Moto Stories.
Hey everyone, welcome to Campfire Moto Stories. I'm Anthony Bennett. I'm thrilled to have you join us today for our live show. This YouTube show / podcast is all about sharing amazing motorcycle stories, everyday riders like you. Whether it's an epic ride, funny mishap, or an unforgettable adventure, we want to hear it all. Today, we have some fantastic guests in the studio who we'll introduce in just a moment, where we'll dive into their riding stories. Plus, we have exciting segments lined up, including pre-recorded interviews, Billy's tech tips, spotlight a stolen bike, and stories sent in by you through the website and or phone line. At 8:30 sharp, we'll open the phone lines and give our live viewers a chance to call in and share their own motorcycle story. Lastly, you'll get to hear an awesome story from my 5-year-old son about riding. May or may not be completely made up. But hey, 5-year-old can tell a great story, so can you. Don't forget, you can earn entries into our YZ250 giveaway by participating in the show. Check out campfiremotostories.com for all the official rules, and by participating in any way, shape, or form, you indicate that you've read the official rules and agree to our terms and conditions. Let's get it started. Around the wall, another request, another wall, all I hear, I can't lie. I feel the strain, all behind, all I hear, so straight. Hey, welcome to Campfire Moto Stories. I'm your host, Anthony Bennett, and I have in studio with me some really good buddies of mine. We go way back since probably about the first month when I moved here to Georgia. So I've got in studio with me Daniel Hitchcock and Brad. Is it Richards or Richard? Richard, because I've literally heard it pronounced multiple different ways.
Well, usually I'm lazy and I'm just like, it's Richard.
So I always felt, I mean, especially you're a whiskey bourbon connoisseur and you have these fancy glasses, so I feel like you'd be like, it's Richard.
Exactly.
Your pinky out kind of thing.
It Richard.
Yeah, Richard. Oh, fancy and shit. So I do want to start out that I will say that they're probably two of the smartest guys combined that I know, because Daniel is actually a engineer, graduated from Georgia Tech, and anytime that I'm really stumped or fucked something up, what? Georgia Tech, that I'll hit him up, because there's almost never a problem you can't. Oh yeah, there's almost never a time you haven't solved one of those problems for me. And Brad's actually an architect, which is actually something I wanted to do when I was young, was an engineer and architect. So fuck both of you guys. You actually did what I wanted as a child. So fuck you for that. So
including your mom.
What's that?
Nothing.
Don't piss my dad off again.
Does he listen?
Oh, yeah, he's going to be listening.
Sorry,
but that
Scott.
was really funny. One time, Daniel made a like your mom comment on Facebook. And do you remember what you said back to him?
I don't remember.
You said, no, Scott, I don't mean like his mom, like your wife. I mean like his mom.
Like, I was only trying to offend your son.
Figuratively. Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to highlight some of their shared motocross backgrounds, and it's going to be a mix of humor and chaos and some heartfelt moments, too, maybe. I mean, we're going to cry, Daniel.
Where are we going?
Yeah, we're going to just deep down. We're going to talk about Kroom, and we're going to just do one of those deep cries.
Big
Okay?
Red.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Big Red. I like how that's how you remember her. Oh, jeez. I meant to look up her name. Maybe I'll try to figure out her name between now and then. So yeah, I wanted to kind of start off too, rolling with some of the 4th of July parties that Brad's family would do every single year. They would do some of the most epic 4th of July parties. How many years did you hold those, by the way?
Man, we did probably 3 or 4 in a row that were huge, and then they kind of trickled down. But we still do them.
Well, yeah, you guys
Yeah.
just did one
Yeah.
this last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was like the first one in like 7 years, it felt like.
No, we've done a few in the past, but they're not like the one that you came to the first time. They're not that scale,
Dude.
Not like 200 people and
I remember, how big was that pile of wood? It had to have been 150 feet long, 50 foot wide of pallets, trees. You guys soaked it in diesel fuel for like 5 days leading up to it. And then when I remember, I think I was either sitting next to the swing or on the swing, and literally when it lit, it went, all the air was sucked out of my lungs.
Yeah.
And I was just like, whoa, like
Yeah.
I'd never felt that before.
yeah, like inside the house, the cabinets shook, the windows shook, and I'm pretty sure that was the year that my dad
Oh, wait.
for 2
Yeah.
seconds.
No, I remember that one.
You couldn't see him because he was lighting it with the lighter.
Yeah.
And like fire engulfed him and sucked back in. And I was just like, I think he just died. And then he came out with like no hair and then he went sober for 12 years.
I was gonna say I feel like that happened more than once.
That was the biggest year. And then we were throwing carburetor cleaner cans in the fire.
Oh, yeah. Just to watch them explode and stuff.
Well, he wasn't there for shaking the house, though, right?
Probably not. Well, I don't know.
The one
maybe.
where you covered it up with tarps. That's the one I was talking about.
Tarps.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a different one.
I don't remember there being a tarp one.
Oh yeah, so he, like you said, he would like douse it in diesel. Well, he
Mhm.
did that one year, but he covered the whole thing because they thought it was going to rain,
Oh.
and so it trapped all the fumes in, and so right before they lit it, they drug them all off, and then
So it really lit up because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. My wife is texting me. She actually tried calling me. Like, bitch, I'm in the middle of a show. So how about the 4th of July party where I really pissed your mom off
please tell.
when I dislocated your shoulder?
Oh, that one.
You did it?
Yeah.
What
I
did-
didn't.
what
I
did
didn't
you
even
do?
know for like 4 years or something like that. That's what happened. Like I thought like you were trying to like just my shoulder's bugging me or whatever it was. We were fucking wasted by that time anyway. So I'm sure like even if it was told, it was a blackout moment at that point. I was
Yeah.
already beyond that.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah, they had
I
that.
don't even remember that.
It was like this green run through.
The alligator.
No,
The-
I remember the alligator, but what the hell did you do?
Well, somebody put liquid soap all over the thing, and it was just
Yeah.
really slippery.
Yeah.
So we're racing through it, and he was clearly beating me, and I just grabbed his leg on the last thing and like pulled him so that I could get up over him. And
Yeah.
however I pulled him, I think you were holding on to something, right? And it just
Well, I was holding it when he pulled me. I fell like this and then slid down. And when I got to the bottom, my arm popped out.
I never knew that was your fault.
I forgot it was your fault.
I thought it
so-
was innocent. Like I was sitting at the bottom of it.
no. And that's the thing is, I didn't remember it too until I
What
think
a
I was back
dick.
over at one of your parties or when we were at Durhamtown that one time, and your mom was like, "Oh yeah, I remember you." You won that fucked up red shoulder. So it very well could have been, we'll say B. Lee, but your mom just remembers it as me. So she tells me that, and I believe it. But I do remember that same night, party, we accidentally went to your neighbor's dock.
Yeah.
And your neighbor came out just fucking pissed. We thought we were on your dock and we were just hanging
Right.
out near the water. It was like Lindsay, Megan, I think Brandon or somebody else and I. And then, the neighbor came down screaming at us, went and bitched to you guys. And we're like, look, it was a simple mistake. Like,
Right.
we're not trying to invade your territory. Look at the path. It looked like it went down to this dock. And they're like, no, their dock's over there. And I'm like, they don't even have a dock. Yeah. But so Lindsay was our DD, but she had broken her right arm at Bremen right before. Do you remember her in the cast?
No, I remember. That was the old
story?
WRX that just came back.
Yeah, so Megan had a WRX, which is stick shift. Lindsay's never driven a stick shift. It's her right
Oh,
arm that's
man.
broke. So we had to teach her in your driveway the clutch. We're like, it's just like a dirt bike clutch. You release, you let, the friction zone kind of thing.
Yeah.
So she starts going, and so we'd I think there was 4 of us piled into that car, like 3 in the back seat, one in the front. So there's 5 people total in the car. We'd go and shift. So she'd push in. My wife would change the gear. She'd let out. So that was how she learned how to drive stick shifts. That was a fun little story from that evening. So one of the things I wanted to get into is some of your guys' combined story stuff together. And you had just texted me recently that, tell me about the spell. There's a spell.
Oh, yeah. So, I don't know. It was probably 2 or 3 injuries in a row. So, Daniel, and we wouldn't even be with each other. He would be off doing like hair scrambles or racing, somewhere else. And I think the first one was he broke his collarbone. And then, like 2 or 3 weeks later, I broke my collarbone. And then, fast forward, he dislocated his shoulder. And then, same thing. 2-3 weeks, a month go by, maybe a couple months, I dislocated my shoulder. And so I was like, son of a bitch. Like, something is going on here. And then that was about the time that you basically parked your street bike in the trees.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm bringing that one up later. But yeah.
Well, yeah. So you never did that.
Right. So, after that happened, I was like, fuck.
I'm going to have to get a slower bike. I can't do this. That was fine.
Yeah, that was a good time. We'll get to that one here in a little bit. I did want to text somebody real quick who might want to call in. I told him I'd text him when the show's going on. And
Some Jeopardy music.
If he gets to call in, it'll actually be really, really cool. I got to set this thing up where I can see that he's calling too. All right. So we said we won't get into exact names. We said if there's some things that are going to be brought up, and I feel like Brad doesn't really know this whole story too, so he'll love this one. Do you know who Zebra Man is? Okay, so you know who he is at least.
Yeah.
So there's this guy. He's in the Georgia area. We call him Zebra Man because he has tattooed himself and he looks just like a zebra. So the backstory to it was I broke my arm, and at this point I was working in the job that I currently am now, which we won't name names. And I had been working nights and weekends, and I just felt really disconnected from, the motorcycle community because I wasn't riding like I used to all the time, right? So I post I know it's only been a month off the bike because I broke my arm. Like, I wish that I just feel so disconnected from it. He's the first motherfucker to comment, and he just says, when you get back on the bike, I'm going to wax your ass. Now, I would say at this point, I was low A class, and he was mid C class. I'm just like, what? So I was like, well, let's put your money where your mouth is. How about we do a race for pink slips? And it just started like a few people commenting here and there, a few other people commenting here and there.
I feel like I remember this thread.
Daniel comes in out of nowhere. Never met the dude, had no idea who he was. First time seeing a zebra name. And just starts stirring the pot. I don't remember exactly what you said, but dude, he stirred this pot so much where it became an event that was being put on at Bremen. They stopped practice for it. And I go over to him and I'm like, hey man, they're shutting down practice so we can do this race. Are you ready? And he's like, nah, man, not today. I'm like, dude, look, not for pinks. Let's just do it for fun of it. He's like, nah, man, not today. I'm just like, he talks shit. I mean, this went on for a month and a half of just Daniel. Almost every single day, he's just poking the bear and just bringing shit up.
You haven't met him?
At this point,
no, I met him later. But it was funny.
No.
Like, I had no idea who it was. All I knew is this is like some rando just like talking shit to a cripple about how he's gonna wax his ass. I had no idea who he was.
Yeah. So the real funny thing to this is after that, blocks me on Facebook, doesn't talk to me anymore.
So didn't race. Blocked me the next day. Years later, my wife got him to do some work at our house, and he actually refriended me. And then he blocked me again, like 6 months later, because I was talking shit about. Because he would always talk about how he's done road racing and track days and all this other stuff. You could tell the shit that he said from being a road racer. He's never done it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like talking to a power line rider telling you
about motocross, right?
Yeah.
You're like, you can see through that shit.
Yeah.
So,
I got a pink power band.
so he he blocks me, but he's still like Daniel. Like I even went back and I read the whole post, right? And some of the other posts that he and I've been involved in, he is talking 10 times worse shit than I am. But he loves him for some reason and hates me. And it's the funniest thing ever.
But I don't know. It's like, I don't know. We've always been, it's like talking shit, and I think it's endearment.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's like y'all are crossing swords somehow. It's like personal.
I think that it's a little bit, because you're a whole few steps above me in riding. You always have been. Fuck you. Well, in most cases, motocross for sure.
Well, it depends on which clapped out bike I'm riding.
Yes, that is true. Because I've got a good video of me punting you off the track. So, yeah, I think that he's always like, I can't ever fucking touch him, so I can't talk shit to him. But I feel like I could maybe beat him, so I'm going to talk shit to him. Like, that's
He just
a
takes
little
it
bit of a
happily.
feeling. I don't know.
That might be my investment. I might secretly want him to be successful.
Is that it?
I don't know.
Like successful like Bitcoin? Or
Well-
marrying women from other countries?
Well, I guess it's
You know
all
what
in
I
the eye.
thought would be
It's
really
all in the eye
funny?
of the beholder. What's that?
What I thought would be really funny if we cold called him.
I'm good.
Well, I want to hear, because my wife tells me
Yeah.
about the craziness with the TikToks and the foreign country.
I think you should just have him on. It would be a great episode.
I feel like he would shoot me.
Nah,
Like on the show live, I would get shot.
it'd be worth it.
Think about how many subscribers you'd have.
Well,
Do it for the people.
if I survive, it would be very beneficial. And if I don't, my wife gets like $1 million in life insurance. So she might want to set this up. Possible. We'll go back to that later.
Revisit that later.
But so also I wanted to talk about the time that I don't even know how Brandon and I did this, but there was a buddy race at Monster Mountain that one time. And we somehow
shit.
talked
I forgot about that
Man and Daniel to be a team. But a buddy race is at Monster. It's actually in the woods. They go onto the GP track a little bit. It's mostly a hare scramble. It's put on by Seika. But they we figured, because Brandon and I are about the same speed. Zebraman's down here, Daniel's up there. It'll balance out and we'll be together,
I
right?
feel like Brandon's not here to defend himself on that one.
At the time, Brandon and I were about equal level.
So
Fuck you for that. And so yeah. Damn it, you really fucked me up with that one. That was good.
no, I know exactly what you're talking about, because y'all agged me into it
Yeah.
because I don't remember why.
Did we place a bet on that somehow or no?
No, we didn't place a bet on it. It was just shit talking. But basically, I hit him up to go down there and ride with me, and I just didn't think it could have possibly turned out as bad as it did. Like it was, we were not a solid team that day.
No. And you remember what happened with his bike?
Yeah, you had a fucking ant farm in the airbox.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that.
So wasn't he out practicing on the GP track before the race and the bike was running fine, and then right before it was time to go start the race, his shit wouldn't fire? So you guys had to share your bike?
I don't remember that bike ever starting.
It was the Suzuki, I think.
Yeah, that's why it wouldn't start.
And goddamn, I don't remember what year this was. Had to
Nah,
been
for real, like-
2015? 14?
It's been a while.
But yeah, so do you remember what I told the lady at sign up?
No.
The sweet old southern lady saw his zebra stripes, and she goes, "Is that over your whole body?" He goes, "Yes, ma'am, it is." And I said, and this is, you started calling him after this. I said, "All the way down to the candy cane, ma'am." And she was just like mortified. Like her face was just like,
Ask, don't tell.
So he really had an ant farm in his airbox.
I've never seen anything like this. Like he was sitting here tinkering around with it, trying to get it to start, and all I remember is pulling the seat off, air filter, and it was just shit everywhere. And it was not that old of a bike. I couldn't believe it.
No, and I
But-
think he got it used recently. From
I think
somebody.
you're
I
right
can't
about
remember
him
who.
getting the bike running, but I believe it was after the hair
After-
scramble
or
and
after
we went
it was
back out.
over, and then went riding
Yeah.
on the. And you're like, oh,
Later.
now it fucking works
Yeah.
perfect. After you smoked your
My
clutch.
clutch is still fucked up.
Let's not talk about clutches.
Oh, is there a clutch story
Yeah.
we need to talk about?
It's not my fault you can't leave shit stock.
Yeah, Daniel roasted the clutch in my FRS.
So it was defective.
Oh, the car.
Yeah,
Okay.
just got it built and is putting out 400 horsepower. They're like tiny little go-karts. And I was like, check it out, see what you think. And he just rah, 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 like
Yeah,
just
no,
running through the
there's
gears.
no way.
And then I got back in it and it was slipping like third through fourth gears, just. And I was just like, I don't understand.
I mean, the man can fucking destroy an anvil in a sandbox.
it was
So
already-
give him that.
It was already gone.
Yeah,
well,
it was his fault.
I'm
right?
sure it was slipping coming into the driveway.
Yeah. They did say that it was too powerful for the clutch they put in it, so they had to make some weird hybrid thing.
I mean, 400 at the wheels on FRS. I mean, you're asking for.
The thing weighs
a little bit
virtually
of damage.
nothing too.
Yeah, like under 3,000 pounds.
Yeah.
It was fun though.
So, did we finish everything on that one? I think so. We ended up lapping you guys. That's how bad it was for you guys. I do remember that.
You didn't lap me, motherfucker.
Your team. That was your team that we lapped, sir.
Okay, maybe
But,
the team. Maybe.
Yeah, whole zebra man.
I guarantee we would have both been in the trees if you came up on me.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me one bit. All right, so you already hinted on this one a little bit. So why don't we talk about that whole street bike incident at Bremen?
I don't remember it. That's been so long ago.
Don't do this. You know what happened.
What? You got to refresh my memory. Which
So-
part of it?
I didn't even know you then, but this was the night that you took your street bike. What bike was it? Was it 900R Honda or 929?
No, it was 600.
It was a 600?
Yeah.
What, a CBR?
Yeah.
Okay. So you took your CBR 600 to Bremen to watch a Saturday night Moto Madness race. What year would this
What
have
else are
been?
you gonna do? What's that?
What year would this have been? 06? 05?
I don't remember, but it was 05.
Okay. So yeah, 05 Moto Mad,
Yeah.
and it was big then too, like a Saturday night race.
No,
And
that's good, that's
I
good.
don't know the class, but what I've been told is the gate dropped and you passed everybody on your street bike down this front straightaway. Obviously, I would
Something
imagine
along
C
those
class.
lines.
And then did a full lap. What did you do with it?
I believe I was supposed to pull off, but yeah, I kept going. I think I was supposed to pull off at the first turn.
How did you
Bone-
manage to keep that up through all that loamy Bremen
It was
dirt?
pretty sketchy because I mean they spin like crazy.
Were
yeah,
you
but,
were you or were you not wearing clothes at this time?
Yeah, no, that was a different day.
Okay,
I don't know that story. Brad, why don't you elaborate on that one?
I don't.
he
know.
wasn't
I wasn't
there.
there. I just heard some things.
You got one of the witnesses over there.
Joey.
Yeah,
Well, we had one of the witnesses over there.
tell no secrets now.
But
Yeah, it's a full lap, and I don't remember anything except about how ugly the first straight was because you know how deep they plowed that.
Oh,
I can
yeah.
imagine taking a 600 down it, and I had to commit. So I mean, I was bouncing the rev loader down. You had to. You couldn't have assets.
I will say that because of me hearing that story in 2012, I was there on a Sunday. I had to go to work, so I rode my bike there. Like met some buddies, they brought my bike and rode, and I was leaving from there to go to work. And I did a full lap on my 636 ZX around the whole thing. But it wasn't plowed too deep and wasn't that
It was
dry.
like the hard
But I
type
do
is.
remember going over the Mexican jump, and I didn't go just fast enough where it caught the bottom of the fairing, and I just heard, and I was like, ugh, but the bodywork was already fucked. I already crashed it.
Well, see, that's the thing.
So-
So we didn't go through the Mexican
no,
because it was night.
There's no way you'd be able to.
No.
Well, I mean, there's a way,
And
but
that thing was meant. I didn't want to mess my bike up.
well, that was the mentest it was ever going before you went onto that track. Because what happened on your way home?
That was the night I fell asleep on the way back to the house.
Fell asleep my ass.
You would not believe because I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Went out.
So you were at
working.
180.
That bike won't even do 180.
You were at $160, and you fell asleep.
That bike wouldn't even do $160.
What? 600 will do
Nah,
$160.
that one wouldn't.
Because you roached the fuck out of it at Bremen.
They're just not. No, maybe like
Was the clutch slipping on the way home?
your full mod road racers might. That bike wouldn't do it.
All right, $140. Is that better?
No, I was doing the speed limit, but I just forgot to stop for the corner.
Bullshit.
Is what happened.
No, you
Yeah.
told me that. The story that I heard from you was you were tapped out.
There's no way.
And you were doing whatever speed. I remember you saying like $140, $160. And by the time that you saw the turn arrow, the yellow turn arrow thing go by you, you realized you fucked up. And that's when you hit the embankment.
It wasn't exactly that. So there were 2 yellow signs. And I realized the yellow sign that I saw was the one that meant that I had already fucked up. And I was supposed to stop at the yellow sign before that I didn't see. I don't remember the rest of that story. But yeah. Yeah, it all comes down to paying attention to signs and making sure you're counting what's there.
All right, so you're telling me that you were not hauling ass. You literally just were dazing off?
I was exhausted, man.
And the hard effort that you had to put in at Bremen?
Well, it was that, and I mean, I was doing some electrical work earlier that day. We were doing some phone lines down. I think it was a Quiznos or some shit.
Probably.
I don't remember. I mean, I might have been doing like 15 over. It's weird. But it was, once you come into a corner like that in the last second, it was just so hard to slow down.
Well, it was a super sharp turn.
Yeah,
and
it was.
And right after it, you made the left onto
His road.
Edam
Yeah.
Road.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
a sharp another left. So I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
that one. So at least you
I mean, I
almost made it
vaguely
home.
remember it. You might be right.
Well, everybody says that, your worst accident's like within a mile from your house. So.
Yeah. I mean,
I remember
it's
hearing
true.
that in high school, them saying like most people die within an accident a mile from their house. I'm like, that doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Because imagine all the people that die on the interstate. They don't live a fucking mile from their house. Like, that can't be right. You know what I mean? But apparently
No,
it's true.
that's an awesome feeling when you see what's not your breaking point. And
It's almost like when you see that was the landing of the jump and
Yeah.
you're still 20 feet in the air.
Right.
no, I remember it was well over 100 feet full stoppy, and it just wasn't having it.
Yeah.
So
Isn't that why you got the tats on the arm?
what's that?
Was from that crash? The still here,
Well,
died trying thing or
That
whatever?
was because I always heard everybody regrets their first tattoo. So I got 2 of them at the same time, and I don't remember which one was first.
Okay, I can get behind that reasoning.
But yes, I think it came after that wreck.
Yeah, that's what I recall being told from
It was around that time.
Yeah. By the time you got out of ICU?
So
Like about the time you got out of
not
ICU?
that immediate, but it was a while after. But yeah,
He had them come in and do it while he was still
While
in
he was
bed.
I didn't want it
he's
to-
in and out like,
I didn't
hey,
want
look,
it to hurt. So
yeah, I'm a little
can't
bitch
feel
when it comes to
anything.
needles. Can you guys just do this while I'm like unconscious? That'd be pretty funny.
You were in the hospital for 2.5, 3 weeks.
it was like twice for 3 weeks. So I guess 6 weeks total.
Did you have a nurse wiping your ass for you? Did you like that?
My memory's not that good. I'm gonna have to take your word on that one. I believe I was full functional, but don't know for sure.
So, speaking of when I made that comment about being like 20 feet in the air and being like, oh, fuck, there's the landing. Well, about that time at Richard Sheriff's house when you thought that the single was a double or whatever?
Oh, which one of that? Oh, I got a couple of good rag dolls over at Richard's house.
Go ahead and why don't you tell us some of them, one of them.
I don't know if anybody, I mean, there's only a few people that would remember the old track over there at his place,
Mm-hmm.
but it was over in the center. You come out of a left, there was a little like really mild double. Then there was like a pretty steep roller. And then after that, that was kind of like a pretty good sized double back in those days, just kind of center of the track. That's like way back before like the whole thing was like switched up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what it was. It was way back riding with my buddy Rob and Richard and no, actually Richard wasn't there that day. So I came out of that and just been out there screwing around for a while, and for whatever reason, I was always bad about daydreaming. I've crashed a ton of times, forgetting where I was.
Well, I remember you saying like there was 2 jumps out there with a similar takeoff.
Well, no, it was like, so it's similar takeoff on it, and the dumbest thing about it is like I didn't just OJ that single. I mean, like I came off the double before it, and I was so confident in myself. I was full committed. never even rolled off, seat bounced it, and just leaned into it. And then realized that, like, I landed halfway up the face of the next double. And, like, you know, my bike was like a few lanes over. Like, it wasn't even where I was at. Dude that I went out there with hadn't even unloaded his shit yet. He was like,
He probably
we
didn't
used
like
to
that.
ride a lot
God
back there.
damn it.
Yeah, he was like, God damn it, Daniel. Was like,
just
all I
got
heard was
here.
a panic rev, and I come out here, your shit's over there, and you're laying in the ditch. So, but no, that was scary as shit, because, like, I was so confident until last second, and then I saw, like, another big face in front of me and realized it wasn't landing. It's a total shit show.
Was it like a bail-off moment, or you just tried to ride it out at that
the
point?
dumbest thing.
Exactly.
I rode that shit out, and even riding it out, it hurt like hell.
Well, of course, it's crashing a dirt
Well,
bike.
I mean, I walked it off after a minute, so it was good.
You did?
Yeah.
Nothing was broke on that one then, huh?
Not me. I think the bike was hurt worse than I was, but
Yeah. How many bikes and frames have you just completely insurance would have just written off?
I don't know. I wasn't all that hard on them. I mean, they got cracks over the years, but I think
Sir.
it's just because you put so many hours on them.
Josh and I bought some of your Roach Stouch pieces of shit, and you're going to tell me you're not
All
that hard
sales
on
are
bikes.
final.
I rebuilt them and sold them.
Yeah.
He rebuilt it and rode it
Yeah, I'm
for
sure
a
you
while.
told him it was ridden by a grandmother and all that too.
Actually, the 125 I traded for a CRF 250.
Yeah.
Remember finding out.
That was a cool bike. It was just slow as hell.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that I remember I went to go rebuild the piston, ordered an OEM piston, go to put it in, and the thing's looser than when I go inside a chick. It was he didn't tell me it was bored over a mill.
You didn't ask me. It wasn't a mill. It was bored.
I just remember having to take the piston back and get an
Sad thing
oversized
is,
one.
for a Honda.
It still was slow as shit. Yeah. But well, let's start diving into some of Brad's stuff. We went into yours a little bit. What about can you think of, and I'm putting you on the spot with this one, so come back to you, that's fine, but a funniest moment between you and Daniel? Doesn't even have to be motorcycle related. What was something that were just like, oh fuck?
I mean, that happens every time we hang out. Literally.
Pretty much.
I don't know. I have to think about a good one.
Well, if you think of it, write it down, come back to it. I know that when you said that, I immediately went to his wedding, which I always say was really cool.
Yeah, that was
Like,
cool.
yeah, which island was that? The one with the horses. Your wedding.
Cumberland Island.
Cumberland Island, down near like Savannah or whatever. It was really neat. And I gave his grandmother a lap dance on the way home back.
That was my funniest moment with
No,
it?
no, just a funny
yours.
moment.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
always a funny moment.
You
that
don't
happens.
realize how happy you made my grandmother. She
I
still
know.
talks
You
about
guys made her a magnet that went on her fridge
Absolutely.
from the
Yep.
pictures. Yeah.
Your friend is so sweet. I just love Anthony. I thought I was just taking a picture, and the next thing I know, he's kind of weird.
He makes me feel things I ain't felt in years.
Yeah, and my mom knew exactly what happened. So she's like, "Oh yeah, that's Anthony."
No, that was the first time really meeting your mom and dad.
Oh yeah, no, she knew the connection though. I'd already told her plenty.
No, and I mean, like, your dad, we'd go over riding pit bikes at your track all the time, and it was like they'd never come out, never stop by, say hey. They just kind of, hey, what's up? Just go do their thing.
That's how they are.
Yeah.
Always awkward.
So, you said that you did a lot of 50 races in the warehouse back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
So was that
My neck still hurts from one of those.
all right? So I couldn't tell if that was a U2 story or like when you were on 50s, you would race in the warehouse.
No.
Richard was there for those too.
Yeah. Richard was there for a few of them. No, my dad had that warehouse in Douglasville. Still does. And it's like a, 10,000 square foot, probably.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's where he has, like, tools, material, all kinds of stuff stored. He's got these huge racks, and they were all out in the middle of the floor. So we, coming close to, like, Christmas time for New Year's Eve, we would always go out and clear out the floor and move stuff out of the racks. So we'd make these, like, 50, like, we had a JR, we had an XR, and then Richard brought, it was some...
He had a built XR.
Yeah, he had a built XR. So we had a few people that would come out there, and it was basically just because it was concrete, so it was like flat track 50 racing under racks between equipment. And then one year we built like some ramps. You'd haul ass outside through the parking lot and then hit a loading dock and jump back into the building. And somehow Daniel on a JR beat all of us almost every single time. And we're like literally on 50s, Z50s with like 3 gears, fucking, and he's just pinned on the JR, never lets off, just flat tracking, sliding everywhere.
I will say those JRs did suck for the most part, but if they get going,
Once you get going.
they will get going.
It's like Bowser on Mario Kart. You just got to stay in it.
And there was this one year that we had like some old equipment from a store, and remember it had like the metal doors were on it.
Yeah.
And somebody,
It wasn't me, but I remember somebody cleaning it.
somebody clipped the door so it popped open, and then the next person that was behind him just drilled that door and just. We did that for a few years, and then one year we had a huge pallet of sheetrock, and we put pallets up on top of it to where we were trying to like tabletop the 12-foot, like 5-foot tall pallet of sheetrock. And was it you? Yeah, it was you, right?
Yeah, it was probably me.
Yeah. So the landing, most of us were just kind of hopping up on it.
Your elbow's about to take out your whiskey there, sir.
We were hopping up on it and then like hopping off, and Daniel tried to clear the whole thing, but I think his back wheel caught the pallet and it knocked the pallet off. So he just vertically straight down on the 50, just cartwheeled it.
That's
straight into the concrete.
That's the one my neck hurts from.
Almost like diving into the shallow end of a pool, pretty much at that point.
The cops rolling up there.
Yeah. That was probably from JoJo outside hitting it.
No, it's like one night they came. Yeah, well, they came rolling up there, and we thought we were all about to get in trouble.
They can't do anything. You're on private property that your parents own, right? Unless it's a noise complaint and it's past a certain time, they can't really do shit.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, actually, I don't know if they can. Can you get in trouble for drinking and riding pit bikes around in a place if you own it?
Probably not, but that part of it was shared. Like the parking lot was shared.
No.
So there's probably a little bit of some fuzzy
it's private
technicalities.
I know my rats.
Say that all the way until Bubba's your bitch.
That's right.
No, you're Bubba's bitch. I don't know how it worked for you guys when you went to jail.
Which one did you go to?
No, I was Bubba's bitch. And before we go to the next one, why don't we pay some bills real quick? Our next segment is brought to you by Hard Knocks Racing. They're a group of dedicated motorcycle enthusiasts since 1998. They're your go-to for Campfire Moto official gear. Soon launch an apparel line of their own. They excel in crafting all kinds of custom decals, like this badass sign behind me, from custom signs to bus wraps and office customization. In fact, check out this work Anthony did at one of the well-known Japanese manufacturer's office who will remain nameless. They also crafted awards for prestigious events such as the Perry Mountain 24-hour race, Mill Creek Spring Classic, Deka Hair Scramble Series, and many more for local racetracks in the Southeast. Check out hardknocksracing.com or give Anthony D'Amico a call at 404-717-480.
We had that conversation.
So, and you said something about your last race?
Yeah.
So what was that?
That was the end of my career.
Can we call it a career?
I mean, sort of.
Which, by the way, I know his answer.
We never really even got to ride together that much.
We raced a few area qualifiers in 2008 when you got the 250 and the 450. We done some Bremen races, and I think Aonia, which is actually, Aonia was the first time I'd met you and Daniel. Was at the same time.
Oh,
That
you
was
were hanging out with the guy.
The B Lee guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came over
In that beat up old green F-150, right?
Yeah.
The beater box?
So you remember Scotty
Oh, yeah.
Kellum? So he was on the show
I didn't
last.
think you'd be any sketchier until you got the van.
He brought up about how I wouldn't
So-
wash the thing because
Yeah,
that was the
dude,
only thing.
everything
the only
you
thing
drove
holding that
back
fucking
then.
truck together was the dirt. I washed it and it broke down, and I was like, "Not fucking washing this thing again." I had to like replace the cats on it like, the day after I took it to an actual wash. The rain washed off the dirt for me. I didn't need to fucking wash it. Because here's the thing: if I washed it, guess what I'm doing the next few days? Going to the dirt bike track. We're just gonna get fucking dirty again.
Right.
What's the point? So it's like wiping between every turd that drops. Stupid.
You don't do that.
It's a good analogy.
I remember one time a dude who was like a super neat freak was bitching about me not washing my bikes every time that I rode. And I used that analogy on him. He's like, that's the dumbest fucking analogy I've ever heard ever. That's stupid. Like, just got pissed off at it. He was fucking kook anyways. But, oh, the last race. I'm like, wait, where were we on this?
Yeah, no, it was, it's kind of like that time where, I mean, you haven't accepted it yet, so you still try and ride and race, but like, I accepted, like, I'm almost, if you don't have a factory ride at this point, like, you're not going anywhere. So that was like my last hoorah, was trying to work, train, buy bikes, buy parts, like, and then at this point, because I think I was 20 maybe, my dad was like, yeah, I'm out. So, which, I mean, that's fair. Okay. Yeah. So I was like, all right, well, I'm doing it all, and I'm gonna go pro. Like my whole career, I was borderline A. Like I could run with any local A rider, and usually.
No, you were fast. Yeah.
But like nationally, were. Yeah, I'm so slow I can't even ride. But so that was like the last thing. I was at what's that crappy track in Dalton?
Oh no, Lazy River.
Lazy River.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah.
Remember I saying to not talk shit on things?
No, I love that track.
No, I wasn't talking shit.
No,
I was
honestly,
just helping him remember what he said.
Yeah,
I've said it. I
Actually,
for whatever reason
I've
hate
had a
that
lot of
track.
fun there. I mean, it's awesome dirt, but
I hate the track because I get hurt almost every fucking time I race there.
Bingo.
And it's not the track. It's just I have the weirdest shit happen to me there.
The dirt there is so similar to Calhoun.
Yes.
So like it gets polished hard pack asphalt, like not even halfway through the day, and then they water it, and
then it's owl shit after that. Yeah.
It's just an ice rink, and when you have one of those days where you're just not on, and like
that's every time that I ride, but go on. Yeah.
So like I started to figure it out as I was racing. Is like if I'm having an off day, some bad shit's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's better just to be like, yeah, I'll just waste the $300 and call it. Well, it was an area qualifier, and you were there, right?
yeah, no, I was at the race.
Yeah, and went out and practiced. I think something was wrong with my chain. My chain might have broke or something. So came back, had to work on the bike.
What year would have this been? 08 then?
No, this would have been earlier than that, because this was like 04 or
No, because this is well after I was out of high school.
Oh no, that was a different trip there. Okay, never mind.
Different crash.
I've been there a few times.
No, I'm pretty sure this was maybe 08.
So yeah, because the 08 that you still have them, the 450 and the 250 were
Sold
those.
the 450, but I have the 250.
The black whatever edition that came out in 08.
Yeah.
So that's the last, because I remember you kind of being like, yeah, I'm really going for it this time.
Yeah.
We bought 450, we bought a 250. We still got the piece of shit RM125 and 250, but I'm going for it with these.
Yeah. So
do you know how many times I've bugged you and your sister about getting me those fucking bikes so I can get them running for you, so that when I text you guys, hey, we're going to Durhamtown, you'll actually fucking come?
Dude, I'll tell you the code to the garage. Go pick up that 250F.
Go ahead and tell me that code to the garage.
No, but it was either.
Let me get the code of the RV garage.
I don't know that code.
I think it's fucking sweet.
I know. No, it was either 08 or 09. Yeah. It might have been the beginning of 09 for areas. That's probably what it was.
Yeah, that one makes sense.
Yeah. Because I got the 08s and then was training race 09. And yeah, so that was the last race. So I was I was riding like garbage that whole day.
Was your dad just screaming at you too?
No, I think he'd like matured a little bit.
Was he one of those screamers?
Yeah.
Okay. I could see him doing it.
I got a story about that.
All right, we'll touch on that.
But
well, here's one thing that I do want to ask when he was screaming, because I think this is one of the funniest things ever. We know Herbert from Family Guy, right? Safe, boys. You like popsicles? Your dad whistles so bad when he says his S's. You notice it? When we were at Durham
I feel
Town
like
the
he
last
used
time.
to.
Does he not anymore?
I don't feel
All
like
right, well, a
he
few
does.
years back, when we were at Durham Town, he's telling stories. We're sitting around the campfire bullshitting.
Yep.
And literally he's just, yeah, back when we were racing, Stuart, he would park with us. And I'm just like, the whole time, I'm just covering my mouth, like trying not to laugh at his whistle
I
with
know,
his
yeah.
S's.
Yeah. No, I think somehow he stopped that, but then he picked back up the you know what I mean, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, know what I mean, know what I mean. No, I'm like, I have no idea what you mean. No idea.
What do you mean? We talked.
What do you mean? It's like, what, you know what I mean? I'm like, fuck.
Wait,
No,
is
but
that like a Tourette's thing and we're making fun of him for that? That's fucked up.
it's possible.
We're not going to stop making fun of him, but I'm
No.
just saying it's fucked up.
But yeah, no, this I think I went out like one moto, did terrible. Second moto, the dirt was getting nice and polished over, and they're like, bring out the fire hoses. And they spray everything down, and I remember sitting on the gate thinking, well, this is gonna be a shitty race. And I was getting lapped by A-Class. Like, that's how bad I was riding. And so it was just an inside corner. I went through the inside. A-Rider was on the outside. So I was trying to stay out of his
the way,
line,
yeah.
right? And so I go up the face of this jump, and I mean, I probably wasn't even 3 feet off the ground, maybe 4 feet. Just kind of rolled out, seat bounced off. Well, he came out of the outside, and when he hit the face of the jump, he washed out.
Ah.
And so we hit in the air, and it was just the right fall and landed on my shoulder. And so
The
when
one that I destroyed?
the one that's been destroyed 100 times. but I got up and I thought that it was dislocated because it was like hanging so far down. And so, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to set it. So I'm sitting there like trying to put this thing in place and nothing's happening. And then I'm like starting to get nauseous and I'm like, this isn't good. I don't feel like I'm going to pass out. And so paramedics came, rode out on the 4-wheeler and got off the track, and she cut the jersey off. And I swear the nurse or the EMT, her face went white because she was like, it's not your shoulder. And like, I shattered my collarbone. So like the whole time I was trying to set my shoulder, I was just
Destroying it?
fucking moving pieces of my bone around. So like all that shit was like sticking out, jagged all over.
I mean, hey, I got mine still sticking
Right.
up. Yep.
So
He
that
does
was
too.
like out of all the injuries, everything I've broken, all the million times, like that, I bawled. Like that time I was like hyperventilating, like I was about to pass out. I was like,
What's up, buddy? We got a little guy hanging out in studio right now. What's up, man? Give me a hug. Did you have a fun time at Pops' house? Yeah. Did you get Frankie out of the cage? Hey, you do have to take it easy on Frankie. She's not feeling that well. She had her 1-year puppy checkup, had to get a few shots. She's acting very strange, so careful, like picking her up and giving her hugs, okay? All right. You remember Daniel? I don't know if you've met Brad before.
I don't think so.
Say what's up. Give him a high five. Actually, hey. Daniel.
That's Daniel. That's Daniel. You hit like your dad.
Oh yeah, hey babe, that's Brittany, Brad's wife. Hey, don't move the camera around. The angle's still good. Yeah, you guys still look ugly as shit. Yep, still good.
I can't fix that.
Yep. Nothing can fix that. Not even cosmetic surgery. You need another beer too? You good?
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, that was
So that was it. That was the
was
last
it.
two raw.
it. Yeah.
Did you have to get it plated, put back together?
Yeah, I guess wherever we went, they were like, you need like a serious specialist for this, which, you know, I love learning about biology. So who knew that like all the nerves from your neck run through and around your collarbone to your arm? I didn't.
Dude, I will say with the first collarbone surgery that I had, actually the only one, I just broke it twice in the same year. Dude, like when the nerve block wore off, that pain was something else. And I've actually helped a lot of people with like shoulder surgeries and collarbones since then, where I'm like, hey, you're going to feel great after surgery. But I'm telling you, about 3 hours after the surgery, start popping a few extra pills. Because if you don't, you can't get in front of it. Like it's too late at that point. And the pain is just so bad.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it was awful. I had to wait a month for surgery.
Oof.
And like,
you left-handed?
No.
Okay. So you could still, do what you need to do. Okay.
Yeah. Do all the things you need to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, they sent me home with a bunch of Percocets, and I don't remember that month at all. Like,
were you just crushing them up and just?
Yeah. I was not there at all. But
I heard Daniel likes to do like the rectal things with his. It does different things. It feels different or something. Didn't you tell me that at one point?
Yeah, it's a different Daniel. I don't.
You did.
I don't remember the story.
Yeah, but no, a plate, 7 screws. One of the pieces of bone was like so crumbled up that they were like, we use surgical twine to wrap it together. I'm like, what the hell is that?
I don't even think I've heard of that.
Straw in there, like.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's all good. Just I will never know if I'm having a heart attack because this arm goes numb all the time.
So you're talking about nerve damage and all this other stuff, and I did want to bring up the time where we did that Durhamtown trip.
Yeah. And
I destroyed. Is that because of that I destroyed your back and you couldn't walk normal for 7 months, or was it? Honestly, like I kind of don't. Once again, this is almost like the fucked up shoulder situation. I fucked you up really bad, and I didn't know about it for like months later or a year later. I think I texted you guys like 6 months later, like, hey, we're going back to Durhamtown. You're like, I can still barely sit down because of what you did to me in the side by side.
No, it had nothing to do with that.
So it was already fucked up, and then I talked you into going to the ride and then jacked it up?
I really don't think the side-by-side, it was already too late at that point. Yeah. No,
you were in some pain. I could see it on your face. You were just...
Yeah, it was really bad. I was like starting to have kind of some flare-ups, which, I mean, I'm sure it's an injury from racing. Just, you don't really do anything with stuff until you have to. And no, it was, Durhamtown had like a straight rhythm Red Bull course.
Yeah.
Did you ride that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and plus I hadn't rode in like a decade, really.
I was going to say, it is a long time.
Yeah, so it was for my sister's birthday, and...
That's right.
Yeah. So we go out there, and we're all like, we hit that, I guess it's a sand track. I don't know.
MX2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we rode out there, we rode on the hard pack track, and then we were messing around with some trails, and then I went over to that track, and I only did 2 laps. Like, did the first lap, and of course, like, it's muscle memory. You get back on a bike, and you're like, oh yeah, I can do all this. No, you can't.
Yeah.
Your timing's off, like, everything's off. So I did 1 lap, did the second lap, and was like hitting the whoops, like seat bouncing and stuff. I was like, yeah, this feels good. Railed the corner, hit a double. Next double, I thought it was a different double.
Oh, you pulled a Daniel.
Yeah, just came up just so short on it.
Oh, no, you did the opposite then.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, either way, we both hit a wall, so.
Yeah.
But that's what did it.
The past 3 to 4 times I've been out there, those things have been closed.
Really?
Yeah. And I kind of was wondering why, because Brandon and I went out there one day. He had just quit working at like Enterprise or something, and I called in sick like on the way there, and we literally had the absolute most fun. It was like a Wednesday, just doing the straight rhythm thing.
You're talking about the straight rhythm?
Yeah.
I heard they were getting more progressive.
Was that like a pun or a joke that I just didn't pick up on?
Yes, it's too.
Okay. Look, I don't have the Georgia Tech education that you have, sir. Which I was gonna like name drop if you went to like a prestigious school too, but I figured you got your architect degree at
They
like
don't teach
you
jokes
know.
at tech either. I'm just gonna say.
What's the engineer shit? There's mechanical, and then you would talk shit on one of the other ones. You guys would call it imaginary engineering. Industrial engineering, you would call imaginary engineering. I just remember you talking shit on engineer one time. It just brought back a memory of that.
That sounds like me.
No, we both went to Southern Poly.
Yeah.
He just transferred to Tech and got his engineering degree there.
I do remember Southern Poly. They got bought out.
Kennesaw.
Okay, yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say they got bought out somebody not too long ago, because that was across the street from one of the shops I worked at.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I hit on the side by side, throwing out the back. I was curious on you had a really awesome backyard track at one time.
Yeah.
You had an okay one with some sketchy ass fucking jumps before you turned it into a pit bike track. I've seen pictures. But
you never saw when I had a track. We didn't even meet when I had tracks.
well, I've got some pictures that I'd saved.
I was
was curious.
done by the time we met.
Yeah. Who's had the worst crash at your track?
At his house?
Yeah, at your house. I feel like there's a good story there.
Remember that thing about false neutrals?
Oh, is that so? Was it you that had it?
No, Daniel.
Oh, my false neutral.
So there was 2 significant injuries from false neutrals at that track.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, it was like when
That was pretty awesome.
it was when we first started like really riding together, and because we've known each other so long, and this is the first time I ever heard him say the F word, because like that's how young I was, and so it was just this tiny little bitty downhill double, like you could probably hit it on a bicycle, and he came out of the corner and hit neutral, and just nosed into it, broke both his wrists.
Oh, I didn't know
see
you
that.
snapped both wrists.
You know, if I'd have been nose down, it would have been different. But it was the perfect angle to where, like, nosed in, it didn't go down, it didn't go up, it just fucking stopped.
Yeah.
And it was.
So did the wrists go in between both levers and then snap kind of thing?
I was still holding the bars because I rode it out. I didn't crash.
Oh, so it was.
I just have
That
to.
snap
I just have
when
to
it
claim that I rode that out. I didn't crash, but yeah, I broke both of them.
Yeah, he rode
That's actually-
and stopped and fell over on the.
So he's
Yeah,
just like
side.
T-Rex on the sides, just screaming.
No, it was only one of them was folded up. So it was my left one was folded up, but the other one was broke, but it didn't bend.
So who had to wipe for you after that? Was it Brad?
What do you mean? I didn't show you what I can do with my feet. No,
I want to see that if that can be done.
we can work on it.
All right,
But no, I was still
we're gonna
sufficient.
call this After Dark.
It's called when
Campfire Moto Stories After Dark, where you're gonna show us how to wipe.
when you go to the
your
emergency room and you're that screwed up. Fortunately, when you have a smart doctor, they set your cast at 2 different angles. So you have a front arm and a back arm.
Huh.
So,
I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this on the show already,
you
but
should be able to figure out the rest.
but I literally like
And that's why you walk around like this, like one's bowed up and one's in.
it looks like you're always posing for a picture, like, hey.
You're always dabbing.
Did it have like the braces too on each
that?
arm?
No, I didn't have that.
No.
I was just full, but it was like almost like shoulder casts on both sides.
Oh god.
I mean, it sucked.
That's one of like a fear that I always had as like a young kid, because at that point you gotta get your parents to wipe your ass for you in most parts, right?
I wasn't having that. No, it was.
I'll figure it out. I'll
I
build
would let
something
your
in
grandma
here.
wipe my ass.
You did?
No, I would let her.
No.
And now it depends.
That's complicated.
No, but that was the deal for Megan and I to start dating. Like,
What's that?
you have to understand, I'm probably never going to stop riding dirt bikes until I'm physically enabled to. And if I break both my arms, you have to wipe my ass. She agreed to both. We started dating.
And then she got a water hose.
That's probably, she hasn't had to do it, but
You know.
she probably would.
You know.
At this point, after having a kid and wiping fucking shitty diapers, she'd probably be fine with it.
You'd be in adult diapers. I don't think you did shit.
Yeah, depends.
For the second Second person was Chase Lewis.
He actually commented on the post that you guys were coming in. I told him to call in,
Yeah.
but I doubt he'll call in. But
So yeah, he was over practicing at the house, and do you remember? It wasn't
Well, see, I wasn't there the day, but I know exactly where he
Yeah.
crashed.
that huge
Because like
double.
I was there a couple days after that.
Yeah, and false neutral.
on the big double.
Yeah, and he just nosed in, and when he did, his leg got the bars hit his
Ooh,
femur,
hit the femur.
and broke his femur. So that was bad.
Now, was the leg kind of just doing one of those crazy, like when the femur breaks and it's just connected, or was it kind of somewhat stable-ish?
I mean, we weren't moving him, so. But yeah, like.
I will say, like with the femur snap,
But
and
he had
some
knee
of the
braces, so I think it was actually the knee brace that
that did it.
that did it. Yeah. Yeah, that was.
Honestly, in a lot of ways,
bad.
I'd rather snap, and I haven't yet, knock on wood, snapped a femur. I feel like I'd rather do a femur than a knee.
Oh yeah.
And that's coming from three knee surgeries and no femur. So, I mean, I'm
I
not
think
100%
recovery's
sure.
better. It's more dangerous, but recovery.
Yeah, because you could snap your whatever artery and
Yeah,
bleed
'cause
out and
shit-
die
shit
right
can
away.
happen.
Yeah.
You could do that with your leg too. Fucking Chandler that
I
one time
mean,
at Calhoun, he
yeah.
about died from that.
All kinds of stuff.
Do you remember any other like
What is your place?
crazy crashes?
The rest of them I think were survivable. I don't as much as we rode over there. I don't remember having that many problems really.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really got hurt too often there. We did a lot of dumb stuff.
I remember as soon as I got my cast off, I went over to Richards and broke the same damn arm again. So that was awesome. That pissed me off.
All right, so what's some of the other ones? And if you guys, because we've been drinking a good bit too, so if we need a little break. One thing I always start the show with, and we kind of just got right into it, is I always like to bring up like a icebreaker moment, right? And I kind of already brought the one up. I meant to find the picture of me giving your mom and your grandmother a lap dance.
Right, yeah.
And I didn't, but I do have this picture that I want to talk about.
I was hoping you were gonna find that.
Yeah. So what we got going on here? I love that your brand new wife. Well, she's not brand new, like she's not like new, like, but pretty new. Is watching this right now. So that's Daniel on the back right.
I'm not sure if
and
I'm
your
jealous
face
or if I'm
says,
laughing.
"I have a boner."
Yeah,
is what your face says. I'm kissing Brad on the peach fuzz. What
Yeah,
is that?
I think
Black
that's
fuzz.
Peach fuzz.
And then you're getting off.
At that time. And Brian looks like he's like, yes, I facilitated this.
Yeah, I feel. Yeah, I made this happen. Which, in a way, he did because he introduced me to you guys.
Oh wait, that's his arm there. I thought that was your arm.
No,
Yeah, that's a little bit of a trick there.
no. Well, hold on. Brad's arm is around me.
Wait,
So
no, that's
this is Brad's arm, right?
oh yeah. Okay.
Look at his arm right next to you, the hairy gorilla arm right there.
That
Are
gets
you sure that's not Brian's arm?
No, because Brian's arm is here.
Well, who's punching Daniel in the chin?
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's extra arms.
Yeah.
I'm punching myself in the chin. That's a confusing picture.
Honestly, this is a little bit weirder the more that we look at this.
Yeah, we got 4 guys and 9 hands.
Were those braces?
No, I never had braces.
No.
No telling.
Fillings? What do you have going on in there?
It doesn't look like a fake kiss to me.
No, it was real. What's pretty funny is
It looks like the same kiss that you gave me at Daniel's wedding.
and I did in the driveway when you got here.
Really?
Right.
So I went to go give Lane Wilson a hug at Big Springs the other day, and he's like, "No, get the fuck away from me!" So I just grabbed him and just kissed his bald head.
Oh.
And then he just started. It was like fighting an Oompa Loompa at that point. He's just punching up. I ran into Parker Wilson at the Kroger down the
Really?
street from me on Saturday. Yeah,
Is he still up here?
No, he just was randomly coming through, and I turn around and I see somebody in the self checkout line doing this, and I was like, "The fuck is this person's problem?" And then I was like, "That's fucking Parker." So I went up and took a pic with him and sent it to Drew. The funny thing is I was like, "You guys seen this before?" God, I gotta read this. This is really fucking funny. You guys are gonna laugh at this. So I sent the picture of me and Parker and I. Let's speak proper English here. And is it that long ago? There it is. All right. So I was like, "You know this guy?" And he's like, "I've seen him before. I'm not sure." He's like, "I've definitely seen him around." I said, "I think I recognize him from Swingin' Richard." Lane responded with something. And then this is so funny. Drew goes, "I think I seen him working at the H&R Block tax kiosk at the Walmart at the beginning of the year." And I was like, "Oh," because he's an accountant now. I was like, "Oh, that's really fucking good." No. All right, so that was going to be the icebreaker that I started off with. Right after you explaining what the fuck happened here. What's going on here, Brad? I went trolling on Facebook to get some pictures, and you make a sexy woman.
I didn't even know this stuff was still out there.
Yeah, I think that's the only evidence.
What is this?
That was Halloween.
Who's that on the left?
Justin Dowda.
Corey?
No.
Brother? No, okay.
Yeah.
That's the only Dowdas that I know.
Different one.
Yeah, they might be related, but
Probably.
Justin-
Isn't everybody in Georgia and Alabama?
yeah. Justin used to, he raced four-wheelers.
Oh, so that's actually what he normally wears then, right?
Right, yeah. Exactly. I don't know, we were going to some Halloween club thing, and
What, was this a DMXS party?
no,
No. Definitely not.
no, it was at the compound. Oh, yeah. Justin, actually, he had to buy the biggest size women's heels at Payless and then cut the back out of them because they didn't make shoes big enough to fit.
That's pretty funny.
But it was, honestly, it was probably the best idea ever. Because we wore bras and then we like filled them with water balloons.
Oh, no shit.
And so every chick was like, "Your boobs feel so real. Feel mine." We're like,
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
Your wife's right here, bro.
She thinks it's funny and stupid. But yeah, at the end of the night, you're in a club and there's like a million people and you're always going to get bumped into, right? And I was like, this feels repetitive. Like, I don't think this is someone just walking by anymore. And I looked behind me and there was this black dude behind me and he literally thought I was a chick. And he, like, his face, he was just like, and like, ran. Like, he was like, ran through the crowd.
Hi. Like he was ready
funny.
to spit his best line to smash that
Right,
night.
yeah.
And then saw the beard
Yeah.
and
He's
the boner
like-
just went.
He's like, "Well,
Oh no, I feel
got
weird
some
about this.
blonde hair and a nice ass." And I turned, he's like, "Oh my God, you got a beard." It was
Honestly, there's a lot of funny fucked up shit that I've done. I don't think I've gone full drag before.
What?
So you've one-upped me on this one,
fun.
sir.
You try
And I'll
walking.
say, you got a pretty nice little ab set going on there too.
Used to.
Oh,
It's-
yeah.
It's under here.
It's
but,
it's a keg now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's not a
under
six
there.
pack.
But I mean, you try
I
walking.
mean, you look at the leg muscles we got going on here. Those things look good.
right.
I'm not sure if you just downloaded this picture, if you've had it for a while.
No, if I had it for a while, it'd be sticky.
You study it a lot.
I've never.
You're going to go in here in the bathroom, it's going to be on the wall.
Yeah. I never saw it until today, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta fucking save this one."
Yeah, that was a fun night. Until Justin actually did score.
Nice. What was his name?
Jeremy.
Don't remember, but I had to sleep in the other bed and listen to that
Oh, that's good.
in her hotel. So, you know.
So
And then
I
the-
wanted to.
So, look, it gets better because the next day it was Gay Pride weekend
In Atlanta.
in Atlanta. And at that time I drove the Prius. So, and we didn't think to bring a change of clothes, right? So we're in booty shorts, sitting in the Prius in downtown Atlanta, and there's a cop standing there, and he looks in the window. We don't have shirts, so we're sitting here.
Do you still have the wigs on?
No, the wigs and the high heels are in the back seat. And he looks at us, and he looks in the back seat, and he looks back, and we're just like kind of looking at him. He's like, "Fuck." And then it wasn't until we made like two more right turns that we saw like all the like the parade stuff, and we were like, "Oh my god."
It's not motorcycle related, but definitely one of the best stories that's been fucking told on this show.
It was good. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's great. I'm so glad I showed that. So, I honestly can't tell if this photo is photoshopped or not you guys, but I saw it and was like, what is going on here? So what happened here? I can't remember if it's like if I got it from yours or Daniel's. Is this legit?
gotta be
That
from
looks
you.
like Brad.
It looks legit like it's one of you guys, but it also could have been one of those things where you saw a picture and you saved it or shared it or whatever, because this is going back a long time ago.
I don't recognize it.
So it very well could have been you.
It's
And you just
not-
don't remember it
not
happening
likely.
to you.
I just don't remember it.
That doesn't look like me. I'm in front of the bike. I was usually behind it.
So what about this one? I saw this and was wondering what's
Oh.
going on here.
No, that might be real.
No, it's real. It's you.
Yeah.
So all the other photos that I saw were like it was somebody's wedding.
Right. Yeah. No, this is Richard's wedding.
Is it?
Yeah, that's over there, his place.
Okay.
Yeah.
They looked a long time ago. Has he been married to her like a super long time?
A while, yeah.
Damn, I didn't realize they'd been married
No.
I guess that long.
It's been
Because I mean, how old's their oldest? I feel like their oldest is about B's age, like around 5 or 6. He's got twins.
well, they didn't have kids for a while.
Ah.
Yeah.
Trying to think back now. I don't remember what year that would be. 06, 07, maybe. Ish?
I don't know if it was that early,
No.
but I feel like
Maybe it was later than
I
that.
feel like maybe it was.
Wait, no, I didn't get that bike till later.
Yeah.
That's probably like 09ish.
09?
Yeah.
What? That's an
would
03
guess.
CR250.
Yeah, it's probably 09. What are you talking about? Dude, I was running an 03 in 2012 till it blew up.
And then you sold it to Josh for like $500.
And I still got my 2012 and it runs mint.
I will give you that. That thing does run pretty good. And you
I'm going to
actually,
get my money's worth out of it.
you got like the right bike because it was
Oh, yeah.
13 that it went to shit.
It
And the
wasn't.
12
It was not an accident.
I will
I
say-
knew what 13 was before I bought that one.
I will say the 13 is
Yeah.
like the 12 is like the 08 CRF 450 that everybody rants and raves about, but fuel injected. So it was like after they went fuel injected and they had a few years to correct it,
Before they screwed it up.
and then they fucked it up in 13. Yeah.
Absolutely. Nah, that's a great bike.
So somebody else just text back finally that might call in too, and this is gonna be really good. So I'm gonna save that picture for a little bit later because he said maybe 10 minutes. So you already corrected me because I said X-Track just to make an example. What happened? Oh, god damn it! How do we change this shit? We rotate? No,
Oh,
resize.
that's not very impressive.
Size.
It's weird. It's kind of stalkerish here.
What? All the pictures that I have?
Yeah.
Well, shit, I remember this story like
should've-
clear as day. You
Should have
telling
set my
me it.
shit private.
Well, we're friends, you dumbass. I would have found them anyways. You would let me see them.
But now all your millions of viewers see this.
Millions. You mean 5. All right, I can't rotate it, but either way,
Oh my god!
I remember you telling
Your
me the
mom couldn't
story.
either. So hold up. So what had happened
Hold on.
was
Is that it? Yeah.
Oh my!
There we go. There we go. Got it.
They make all these software programs so much smarter, and it makes it so much harder for us dumb people.
We're gonna be so dumb when this is
No,
voice
that's
activated.
That's just coming from an architect. Like,
So
It's like a refill.
yes, please, sir.
Yes, please.
All right. So I remember the story very well, and it was fucking hilarious. So why don't you tell us what happened?
do you want to tell it, and I'll just correct the mistakes?
Why don't you tell it, and I'll be like, oh, I thought this is what you said it was.
All right. So
Thank you, sir. Do I swirl it and then pinky up before I sip?
Yeah, you want
Do we
to
clink?
get a nice little spin in there. You want to smell it.
Ooh. Do we like pinky it and then Easter to get like an extra buzz? I could have just changed the camera angle.
You probably could just walk in here. I'm sure nobody would mind.
Yeah.
So, going back to this goes back to Riverview. I don't know
I never got to ride River.
if you ever rode it.
Nope.
You never rode it? All right.
One
That was an awesome track.
One of the coolest places ever.
It was more North Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Resica.
Wait. Oh, no.
Forsaken.
I'm thinking of, what's the one that Sorks used to have? Saddleback or Diamondback?
Diamondback.
I'm
was
thinking
awesome.
of Diamondback.
was way after this.
Yeah.
Like, OGs will remember the sand track at Riverview down by the bridge.
Okay.
So going way back, if you remember the sand track, what had happened was
What had happened was
I had rolled in there, and so they had like this mid track off to the side of the sand track that was just a little ridiculous. Like, not many people rode it, but there was a big triple out there, and I used to ride out there quite a bit back in these days.
Really, it was like a track that they built and never finished and no one knew about.
And everything was ridiculously big. Like, I've talked to a couple of people that actually like still remembered it and rode it, and like it was almost like a normal track on steroids. But I asked the guy at the gate when I came in there.
Hold on. Excitebike 64 or Excitebike?
Regular Excitebike.
Okay. Did your bike go?
On Excitebike, yeah, exactly. So I asked the guy at the gate when I rolled in, because I was curious. You know, a lot of times I like to know if it's a terrible idea before I even try it. But I'd been eyeing it up. I was like, I think I'll make it.
A big triple.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty big. And so I'd ask the guys, like, you know, is anybody getting over this on a 125? It was like, oh yeah, it was down here the other day. It's like, yeah, people are hitting it all the time. It's like, you just got to commit to it. And you know, the only reason I asked him is I was like, I just didn't know if a 125 was going to get over that. And so I don't know what I was thinking that
What
day.
year would this have been? I mean,
That
that's like
would've
an 01 RM?
That would have been 2000.
2000. Okay.
Yeah. So went out there.
125.
I had stock pipe. I had I had so much confidence because the guy told me, it's like, you know, apparently everybody's sending this thing. It's nothing. It's just all you got to do is just lean into it. And so I got out there, got till I had, and the worst part is, like, you didn't have a long run at it. There was like a reasonably long tabletop before it, but then there was kind of a somewhat short run up to the triple. Come off, hit the tabletop clean, and I was just like, you know, like, if you commit to it, you had to kind of lay into it in the air. I mean, so it spun up, never let off of it, just totally went for it. And I just remember, you know, pulling up off of it. It's pretty obvious you're not going to make it. But basically where I made it to is the crown of the top of the third hill is the shape of the front wheel there on the bottom. That is exactly where it landed. Like, you could not physically land any worse than where that hit. And, you know, my bike wouldn't roll, so I had to go back up there. Get same dude that told me everybody's hitting it to come down here and help me load my bike up because I couldn't push it into the truck. We had to physically just pick this thing up and throw it back into the truck. He was like, oh, man, no, you ain't hitting that on 125. What are you thinking? I was talking about the triple over the sand track. Oh, yeah, you mean the one, like,
That
everybody's
85
hitting?
could do?
that I was hitting on 80s.
So I was like, son of a bitch, I never would have tried this. But yeah, no, it hit hard, and you can't really see it in here, but the brake disc has been all the way to the hub too on this one. But I was a little taken back when dude told me that it was a different track
Yeah.
that everybody said it.
No, you literally hit all the marks on the stories that I recall you telling me.
And that's
over the years
probably
on this one.
when
Nothing broke though.
Riverview
That's what
closed.
shocked on that one. You know, I've got hurt doing some stupid crashes, like small ones, and then I mean that was a pretty gnarly crash. I didn't stay on the bike, obviously, but I mean I walked away from it.
I mean, I've touched on this a few times. There's so many times where I've had a crash where I'm just like, and I look at the bike and it's fucking in 1,000 pieces. And there's times where I'm totally mangled and the bike just had a broke brake lever.
Yeah,
and
it
you're
just
like,
fell over.
how does this happen?
This reminds me of the Pastrana crash at
The big
the X
step up
Games.
one.
Well, the one where he like came like out of nowhere across like several lanes and hit that jump and jumped and where he broke his back.
The dislocated spine one.
Yeah.
I think you guys are mixing up some stories here.
I know what he's talking about.
You.
This is back before you knew what dirt bikes were.
This was
I
like
banging your mom at
No,
but literally like because he just stopped.
Yeah.
Like when he landed, he stopped and like he stopped. The bike bounced a little and then he just fell over, and then he destroyed his spine. Like
I think I remember that Pastrana crash, but he didn't get too jacked up on that one.
no, he got
The one
wrecked.
that destroyed
the one we're talking about.
the one that destroyed his 250 career in 03. Is that what you're thinking
no,
of?
this is
This is back on 125.
yeah, this
Okay.
is before that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
This
I
is
was
when
gonna
he
say,
was
'cause that
still
was at
like
Castillo Ranch.
You remember how many times he destroyed itself?
Right. Fucking 1,000.
Says,
I'll give him this. The dude's like ability to just say fuck it and turn off the brain, like unmatched.
yeah, it's insane.
Yeah. But damn. Okay, where are we even at with this fucking stories and the talks and stuff? I do gotta actually take a little pee break, so why don't we do another plug, pay another little bill. We'll do that. You guys good for a quick pee break? Do you need the tweezers? Does he need the tweezers?
Yeah, can you hold it for me?
I don't, honestly, she's pretty good looking. I mean, does he have a hog on him? Is the thing just like? 'Cause, I mean, it's kind of ugly.
elephantitis.
I mean, just how big is it? Tell me when to stop. Right there. Good God!
Before
How do
you even started.
walk? Right there.
Oh,
All
goodness.
right, let's.
These stories are brought to you by On-Road Riders. Get on the road safely with On-Road Riders. They offer Georgia-certified training through the Motorcycle Safety Foundation Basic Rider Course on both two-wheels and three-wheel motorcycles, enabling you to obtain your motorcycle license hassle-free. Their mission is to instill essential skills for safe motorcycle operation and save lives. You'll learn from certified coaches covering everything from clutch friction zone techniques to obstacle avoidance. They currently have 2 convenient locations, Mountain Motorsports in Conyers and Georgia's Best Fireworks in Villageville. At just 16 years old, with parental consent, you can enroll and upon a successful completion, receive a waiver for your Georgia DDS motorcycle license. Visit onroadriders.com to start riding safely today.
All right, that was a little bit longer of a pee break than I realized. Okay, we're back. Huh? Yeah, you're on. I should have played one of the other ones. Actually, why don't we do this? Why don't we do one of our tech tips? I wonder what you think of this, sir, because we'll talk about some of our tech tip stuff that we've done later. So I always do a little tech tips. We should break through some of our segments. So
now it's time for some awesome tech tips.
Transform your comfort with Innovative Mechanical LLC, specializing in HVAC service for residential and commercial properties. They provide expert installation, maintenance, and repair. Their certified technicians ensure top-notch service, whether it's air conditioning, heating systems, or indoor air quality solutions. Serving Georgia since 1999, they prioritize customer satisfaction with prompt, reliable service at competitive rates. Routine maintenance to emergency repairs. Trust Innovative Mechanical LLC for all your HVAC needs. Give them a call at 770-726-7407 or visit innovativemechanical.llc.com to schedule service and experience unparalleled comfort today.
All right, here's the tech tip that Mark and A3 been extremely confused on. So, zip ties. Valve adjustment job needed to be done. The intakes were how tight?
Very. Better than your mom.
Couldn't even get 0.05 in. 0.05 mil? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Couldn't even get that in to test it. So we're going in blind. The intakes are so fucking tight. So what you do, hold this. And make sure you're aiming it. Finally pause it out. You gone?
Damn
All right.
old zip tie.
So you don't need it to be top dead center as long as your intakes are facing up. But all you do is wrap the zip tie around the chain. Get them on there nice and tight and deep black.
Awful.
You don't have to do it on the exhaust since we're not taking the exhaust off, but we might need to get some wiggle room since the exhausts are in spec. So tighten the shit out of both of them. Look at me. You don't have to do cam time adjustment chain cam timing. There we go. You don't have to do cam timing now. It's done. All right. Make sure you don't drop this guy in your motor, and you're fucked. So look at that. Get your stuff out. Now we measure that. See what it is, and then when we're done, we just put it right back in.
Bingo.
Part 2 of this tech tip: do not set your new shim in here and then stick it in there. How do I know that? Because you might not get it all the way in the center, and then you go to fire it up, and then it pops the valve seat out. I know this because I've done it. So always take your valve shim and put it in there. First, make sure it's seated right. Don't drop it past next to the valve. Push it in good. Then you take this thing, and then you work her back over it. Okay? Push it down, and then look at that. You just put your guy right back on.
You don't want to do that.
Oh. Then you put your guy right back on. And your timing's all good. This next part's the most important part. Then fricks. You get a torque gun or wrench. And then you go to the manual. You actually get the information that you need from the manual. Okay? And then you set it to the correct thing. Ben. Okay, Ben? All right. So we got it set 7.4. And then we just.
Whoa.
Done. Now we get your pair of lesbians. We'll snip at the tip. Pull them out. Like still in time.
Yeah, there we go. Nah, video's over. All right, so how tight do you think his valves were when we did that?
Yours?
No, so Brandon's, my valves are always loose. Brandon's bike,
Yeah.
he brought it over. This shit was really bizarre. It was code 43 in for Yamaha, and I've had to replace 4 ECUs on Yamahas for that, like, your bike. Like, it's very, very common. So after doing that, I got an ECU, put it in, and the bike was turning over just fine. We adjust the valves. He goes to turn it over the first time, code 43s again. I think he fried the ECU, the new ECU. I'm like, oh shit. I've got another bike that's same year and relays and all this shit. So I just start swapping relays and all this other shit. It was one of the relays. There's 3 relays on that, like, 19YZ 250FX. So it was one of the relays that was actually bad, not an ECU. But finally we got it going. But how tight do you think his intakes were? Just guess.
How tight?
How tight? So the range is like 0.017 to 0.024 mil is the range.
So I'm going to say probably around 0.005.
negative 0.015.
And it ran?
Up until it didn't. And he was like, so his bike has a big bore 270 kit on it. When he couldn't run, he borrowed Joe's 2020 250F. He's like, man, this thing, its motor's so much stronger than mine. I'm like, well, Jesus Christ, you've got a big bore on yours and a stock one is so much stronger than yours. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was way off.
So his valves weren't closing ever.
No. And it wasn't till, because you can't do a compression test because of decompression, but you can get an idea, right? His was at 30. Usually you can get like 70 with even the decompressor doing a compression test.
Right.
But
you could do a leak down test on it.
Put my leak down tester on it, and I'm like, well, here's the messed up thing. It won't turn over, so I'm having to put it in gear. Oh, that won't work either because it's got a recluse. So so we finally, I don't remember what we did, but it was turning over just enough, but every time I'd bump it, you would just hear like just pouring out the intake. Yeah. And I was like, huh. So I went to check it. Intake valves are like way off. But a few buddies of mine, I've told them this theory of how to do a valve adjustment without messing with cam timing. Because everybody hates doing valve adjustments and pistons because of cam timing. Now with a piston, you still have to do it no matter what. With cam timing, you can put a zip tie on the top of the gears, like shown in the video, and you don't have to mess with cam timing. You move them, the cam is held in place. Because even on the bottom, you have those few holders that hold the cam on the bottom. So even though it's loose, it doesn't drop a tooth and move. So that's how you do a valve adjustment without having to mess with cam timing. It takes a 2-hour job and makes it an hour and a half. So good little tip.
So how many hours do you have on the bike? I've never seen one go to negative.
86 is what he has on it.
Total, and he went negative on valve adjustment?
Sorry. It's going to be really cool. You guys are going to love this because he's going to call in at 9.
Who is this?
I can't tell you. It's a surprise.
He. Unknown.
He.
Well, that's a cool tip. The other thing is, though, is just by Honda. I've done my valves once in 14 years.
Yeah, but how many hours do you have on it? 25?
It's probably got like 200 on it. Fair 200.
I will say this, though. You're really easy on the motors. And as am I. Like, we don't bounce off the Redland or destroy clutches unless it's his car.
No, I have gears on it. I just shift up.
Yeah. I remember
there are people I know that don't shift.
But I swear to you, I've had 250 hours on a clutch before and not had to replace it.
At least on a 450. I mean, you have to blow a 250 up, but
I feel like I went
there's no
around
reason to ride a
200 on my
hard.
CRF 250 without having to replace valves.
Yeah.
So
I've never had an issue with it.
So speaking of doing valves and your engineering and things I've leaned on you on, I wanted to pull up these pictures because I thought this was a cool little project you and I did one time. You remember this guy?
Oh, yeah.
So I wanted to build oh God, what is it even called?
A valve spring compressor.
Thank you.
All right. That's what I'm here for.
Yep. So I wanted to build a valve spring compressor, but they'd sell them for like $150. So I went to Daniel and was like, hey, look, I bought a C-clamp. I think I can do this, this, and this, and then we'll have one. Dude, I don't know how many freaking valve jobs I've done with this thing since. And it has to be 12 years ago we made this.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So, yeah, just
a cut-up socket welded onto it, right?
Yeah. So essentially, we took a 3/8 extension. We chopped it right here. We welded it to that so that a socket can go onto that. And then this is what holds the valve in.
Yep.
So, yep, there's the other end of it, pushing on the valve. So that will go into the valve just perfect.
Oh.
Man, I've heard your family members make that noise with me before.
Oh, come on now.
And there it is, pushing down on the thing.
It was
and you
great.
get the tap it. You welded up both sides here on that, just to get a little extra integrity, structure going on.
That's nice.
You remember earlier when you were asking me if you ever had a good idea? I forgot about this one.
That was one of my
Because
good ideas.
I
feel like there was
just did what you asked me to. on
one
this
or
one.
two other tools or things we built too. I just forgot about them or we didn't take pictures. And I remember the only reason these are on Facebook is because you were using them for like your engineering portfolio to get a job. Not the one you're at now, not the one before that, but the one before that.
This goes way back.
Yeah. So you're like fresh
Back
out
to the
of
dark
college
ages.
and
Yeah.
you're like needing things for a portfolio. How about the
Yeah.
fucking heater thing you made in
What about?
the shed? That thing
Oh,
was badass, but it was so janky looking. But dude, that thing worked so
What are you
damn good.
talking about? That thing was sexy.
It was straight out of Alabama. We're being honest.
Yeah, you couldn't stand close to it though if you got it cooking. You got it.
Good. The thing would put out some heat. Speaking of cooking, how about this one? You talked about this before the show. This is one of the funnest races memories that you and I had. So we went to Sparky's.
Oh yeah, that was.
So notice he has a first place, and I have a
Yep.
second place.
Yep.
That's because
You remember we were talking about Brad's last race earlier. This was my last race because I had nothing else to accomplish.
Did you finally beat me?
I finally had first place.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about some of the Sorks race where I beat you next.
That's hair scrambles, right?
Yeah.
That's
Still.
the one. Wait, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready for you.
We got videos.
I'm ready for this
We got
one.
videos for this one. This is going to be
Yeah.
so good. Okay. So we do the first moto. We're racing 30B, I think. And at Sparky's.
Well, I was racing 30B. I don't know what you were racing.
I was racing 30B as well, and I came in second place out of like 15, 20 people, motherfucker. So anyway, we get one moto in. Daniel beat me, obviously. He's got first place. I'm holding the second place. You see the smoke in the background there, if you notice. So in between motos, in fact, there's a really funny picture that Austin Guest has of this, where I'm like, literally, I fall asleep in a chair, and I'm like, rigor mortis kind of sleeping. And I wake up, and the fucking barn there is on fire. And we're like, where's that smoke coming from? So we all start walking like towards there.
Yeah.
And dude, I don't even know if we know what happened. The barn that holds all the hay, this huge barn, like 20 times the size of this that we're in right now, just billowing smoke. And it got to where, dude, it was one of the coolest things. Like I've seen the community come together, and like people are organized. We're rolling all the hay out, trying to get as much hay out of the barn to like, mitigate
Slow
the fire and
yeah.
all this stuff. So, but it stopped the race. So the only reason this motherfucker won is because I couldn't get redemption second moto. And I will say it probably wouldn't have worked, but I did have a good cheater line that I was going to use on you the second moto.
What I have to throw in there, for a while until you realize that this was not a good excuse, I had to listen to that doesn't count because you only raced one moto. So who had the motive?
So you think I started the fire because
Do you think I would be threatened after that first moto?
All right, so your theory is I started the fire so I could say it didn't count because I couldn't beat you the second moto. Your theory is I started the fire so
You were
I
claiming
could
fraud.
say, oh, it doesn't count.
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, do you realize how close to our race that caught on fire?
I think we were like second moto or something. It was in the
I mean,
middle of the moto. Like it was a moto break. Like in between they wanted to
Yeah,
check
I mean, it was like, all right, we got geared down. Hey, I'm going to go grab a snack. Next thing you know, the barn's on fire.
No, I was sleeping. I will say this,
Bullshit.
and Austin will back me up on this. I was sleeping.
Well, how much
when
did
that
you pay
fucker-
him?
To say that I was sleeping?
I mean, anybody can buy an accomplice.
Combine and accomplish?
Accomplice.
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 Accomplice. There's
That's
a big
all right.
word there for that fucking
It's
Georgia.
a lot of pronunciation. They don't teach us words.
All right, so let's see. Here we go. Where do I go to some? There's the history.
I still have that.
Where do I
plaque.
go to
That's
Danny
my
Whip?
favorite trophy.
All right, so honest, is it in here? No, it's down. You know what? I think I threw it in the dumpster because fuck that
I
thing.
would too if it was number 2.
All right, so let's pull up a
Building
YouTube
your
video.
online business?
Oh, God damn it.
Go to
How
Wix.com.
do I silence this shit? Skip. All right. So I
I marked the timestamps on this. This is good stuff. So to kind of backstory this whole experience that is going on here, I talked Daniel into doing a Sorks race for us, and this is, I think you show. All right, there it is. 2015, around May. We talked you into doing a Sorks race. And at this point, we're telling you how the Sorks races aren't that tight, which they normally weren't. Not that bad. You don't need fucking wood suspension. You don't need bark busters. Blah 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 blah.
You don't need cut down bars. You don't need bark busters.
So
it's wide open.
Yeah,
it's like 4-wheeler trails the whole way.
Which it kind of was. All right.
Yeah, but you're not on the course and you're going down the power lines.
All right, let's see. I've got the timestamps of all the really funny shit that happened with this. All right, so here. Just get a. No, where did? Damn it! I thought you could like click and it would fast forward. All right, right here is about when the flag drops. So it's Daniel, Brandon Thompson, and myself all in line, right next to each other on the inside. Flag flies. For the last 3. And then look at these fuckers.
It would not start.
So that was one of the funniest parts to it. All right, what's the next timestamp? 15:25. There was so much chaos that happened in this first lap. It was amazing. So we obviously got this terrible starts, right? We're all in this bad situation. So this is what happened here, Daniel? Remember what happened? Oh no. Damn it. I keep thinking that I can rewind.
Yeah, I have no idea. You got to give me a little bit more to go on.
You try to pass this guy. Wait, there he goes. Clips. And there's Brandon. Brandon just passed you right then.
I could not tell you. That might have been a bark buster moment.
All right, what was the next timestamp? All right, 15:47. You know this one. And I'm going to pull up the picture of it afterwards.
I hope you have the one with the fire rate.
Yes.
Okay.
That's coming up. All right, so just a few seconds later, which, by the way, Go Pros back then fucking sucks. Oh. There it is. You remember that dude?
Oh, yeah.
This dude is completely underwater.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I mean, it's...
You can barely see his bike.
That bike is done.
So this was the picture I took for it. Where is it? Because this is on your Facebook for so long.
Yeah.
Like, you just imagine the feeling this dude has at
Doesn't
this
it
moment,
look like
right?
the back tire's still spinning a little bit?
Yeah, I think it
He's like,
is.
I got this.
There's a ripple right there.
I got this.
Just print it.
Okay, I gotta close this picture. What's the next timestamp? 16 minutes. So at one point, somebody, they'll have you done a hair scramble ever?
Nope.
Damn. Okay, so they'll have like markers to like for what looks like a trail, but they want you to dip off. So they'll have a marker there. Well, if somebody takes that out, then the next row that comes behind has no fucking idea. So we go on, and we're just like,
I forgot. Yeah, we're not remotely close at this point, right?
No, we're all lost. Yeah, we're on different time zones at this point.
Yeah, good times. Good times.
Look how bad the GoPro. So it's at this point right here that we're like, we're lost. Oh, I just realized it's not even showing.
This is the point I'm pissed because I'm like, why in the fuck did I get talked into this? This wide open hair
This
scramble.
is the first lap still, by the way. I thought it was 16 minutes. All right, no, right here. This is where everybody realized they fucked up. So I went left, right? Brandon and I, we got to this section, we went left, and we realized, nope, that's not the right point. So Daniel's here just waiting, and then here we come. Look at all, everybody's just looking around like, which way did we go, George? And then at some point, we just went, oh, nope, this is the wrong way. We got to go this way.
Yeah.
All right, what's the next timestamp? All right, so there goes Brandon and myself, right? 1746. Right? All right, watch what Brandon does. See here, Daniel. Listen.
I didn't hear that the first time.
All right, so
Oh yeah, wait.
1759. Let's go to that one.
Yeah.
Oh, are we there already? So Daniel sees another puddle, gets in front of his ass, and soaks him back. Brandon said it was a tidal wave that went over him. And the last bit to this, so I don't know if it was.
Oh, you must have already missed it.
I don't know if it was the dude. I tried to find it, but I feel like I know what you're talking about. Where you try to soak me, I can't.
No, where he got buried.
He did.
No, Brandon. After that
was it. I think you.
Oh,
when you accelerated past him,
Oh.
you destroyed him at that point.
No.
All right, so the next year or a few months later, they did a race there too. So you see this turns nice and tight into here.
Yeah.
So there's a thing right here, and my ass went, why don't I just take this shortcut? I didn't see all this.
What is that?
It's just a huge pile of logs and stick. And I think it was after this race because the grass was grown up. So I hit it, and it was one of those things like, oh, look, clear grass. And then just fucking head shake right of craziness. I dabbed my knee. I couldn't walk on it for like 3 weeks. I was on crutches for 3 weeks because of hitting that shit there. So that turn has always like left a black stain on me because of that. So
That turn.
all right, let's go see some more pictures. Damn, I gotta piss again. Did we play all the things? How about we talk about whose phone was that? His phone's going off. Oh, you know what? There was another good YouTube video that I was wanting to play from your account. I'm gonna close this shit down. No? Here we go. Need to bring this back. Can't see shit. It's too far away. What? Just had a look on your face. Can you think of any good videos from your YouTube channel that would be good to pull up?
Well, you've already done the Thompson loop out, right?
Yeah, but we should play that one again because I don't think Brad's seen that one.
That was one of my favorite moments. That got caught.
Be the best Daniel Hitchcock video ever captured, ever. What is going on?
I'm just so grateful he did that right in front of us.
I don't get what the fuck is happening here. Honestly, I gotta pee so bad that I don't know if it's gonna make it. No, okay. I think we got it. Here it is. Start this thing over. Pause. Move that back to this screen. Open her up. Full screen this bitch.
Yeah, come on.
Step by step, YouTube.
"2014. Ermagerd."
I feel like you showed me this too.
Probably. I think what was so funny
How did
too.
he even do that?
Well, that was the thing that was so funny to me. It was so unexpected because I swear these are like 6-inch deep rollers.
Yeah.
And just out of nowhere, it's like everything just exploded.
So when Brandon was on the first show, we talked about this. And look, I'm the nice friend that slows up on the left to see if my buddy's okay. And Daniel's like,
What are you
fuck
talking
you.
about?
Dumbass.
fuck you, I'm gone. Just keeps on going.
All right, so
This is the super slow mo.
yeah, I need that. What happened here?
So he just grabbed a gear and just leaned back. I still don't know how the front end came up so fast right here. I mean, he was.
And just the fact that all three of us happened to be there at the same time, like,
Oh yeah.
it was magical.
Do you remember after the fact he was talking about? It's like, yeah, I was just trying to be cool and like wheelie through the wheelie
Well,
through the
he
rollers.
said, he's like, I knew you guys were behind me. I know Daniel's running the GoPro, so I got to do something cool.
Well, you did it.
Yes, he did.
Money shot.
All right, stop now. All right, so what about, there's a few pics in here that I saw that I didn't know backstories behind. Like this track. Whose track is this?
Oh, that's back at my house.
Is that in your house? Oh,
Yeah.
What the fuck? What? I can't unzoom?
That's back before you came to Georgia. This is way back.
Grab that little blue bar down at the bottom. There you go.
No, it's froze. Did I just lock
Frozen?
my shit out?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Oh yeah, that is your track.
And yeah, it was mostly gone by here. Like I was already in college back then.
There we go. I think that's what was fucking it up.
Yep.
I've got too many things open. Your mom's legs.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
That's what we're freezing it up. I think.
Hey, boys like popsicles? I got a whole freezer full of popsicles in the basement.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He definitely does.
I haven't heard him do it in a while. I mean, I just
Say, Brad, you gonna come over this evening and get some dinner? You gonna hang with the family this Christmas? Is that ringing a bell at all?
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
3 days ago. You want to come get some zucchini?
Come
like,
get
no.
some good zucchini. That's nice.
That's my house.
Is it?
Yeah.
So is that the big W you were talking about? Is that your sister right there?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm riding his bike. I don't remember why I didn't have my bike that day.
Well, you probably fucking talked with the front wheel.
No, this was way after that. Yeah, that's the 082 250F.
It is.
I don't know how that happened.
We're jumping a little bit, but so this was a pretty funny story. This is one of your 4th of July parties. That's
Mhm.
actually my wife trying to console some poor girl who got hit in the face. And this was actually one of those moments where I was like, oh, she's actually a really nice chick. Like, I don't even think we were like together at this point. She was just hanging around us and stuff.
I think I know who that is.
That's what I was going to ask you, if you know who the little girl is. That
I think that's so I mentioned JoJo earlier.
Kinda.
That's
he's-
who I was thinking it was.
Yeah, I think that's his daughter. But yeah, he's that night that we mentioned, like outside the warehouse.
Mhm.
He's the only person that I've ever seen like literally start a 125 and loop it out, like from the start, just like dumped the clutch and launched it. But yeah, I think that's his little girl.
Nice. I'd be curious to find that out, because that's just one of those things. Like, somebody hit her in the eye. She just went over to the corner by herself, just crying. And then my wife went over and like talked with her or whatever, made sure she was
Oh.
okay.
That's the touchy-feely moment
Yeah.
you warned me about.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
So what's this pic about? Because I saw it was on both of your guys' Facebooks.
Oh, that's Loop Out right there.
that's
Larry
JoJo.
Loop Out.
That's JoJo in the yellow.
that was a Suzuki 125 that he fired up and looped out.
Oh,
Yeah. I think that's my old bike.
That dumb bitch has been upside down a few times.
Well, I can definitely tell that's Daniel's old CR right here. That's your 08.
Wait.
Yeah.
Don't be talking old in this day. That was mint.
That thing was still fucking old back in that day too,
was
sir.
Mint.
No, sir.
I guarantee that thing was at least 6 years young.
Well, here's it at its finest.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there's the 03 CR250.
Oh yeah.
All right, what
Yep,
is
that's the same bike.
Riot Radio?
Oh. Drawing a blank on that back in the day. That was a dude that hung out back in the DMXS days.
Honestly, when I
kicking
saw that
myself
at
for
first, I was
drawing a
wondering if it was
blank.
DMXS thing,
Yeah,
but
no,
then
this
I
is
saw
like-
it was
I
Riot.
was hanging out with Joey a lot. Went out to a place in Douglasville, just hitting some ramps. And
Some freak
yeah.
style ramps.
some freak style ramps. Yeah, they were shooting cameras out there. Yeah, this is funny because this is like right after I started riding after the street bike. I wasn't supposed to be riding here. I was definitely not released.
Don't
So-
do a knock.
This
Yeah.
definitely is your old track, and what I would say it is prime. I remember seeing this picture and me going like, "Dude, where the hell is this at?" And you're like, "That's my pit bike track now," because you actually
Oh,
made
yeah.
that into like it was like a cool step up for the
Oh,
pit
yeah.
bikes right there.
There's been so many mutations out there.
Like with family members or
All kinds of stuff.
jumps.
Your track always kind of weirded me out.
Yeah.
Because he built it with a backhoe, and so it was like 3.5 feet wide, and just
I just realized that we're not looking at any of the pictures that are there.
Well,
So
how
that
wide
was
is the
that
tire?
one.
That's what I didn't understand about everybody bitching about the narrow tracks.
That was Larry
How
Loop
much
Out
do you really
pig.
need? All you need is a
Yeah,
good solid.
I mean, honestly, that's
all you need is a good solid inch, 6 inches, 8 inches. You should be good.
That's wonder if anybody wonders why it took you so long to get married. Now we know why.
Narrow tracks.
Well, I mean, if you 6 inches is all you need. Here's one for Brad. You sent me this pic. Obviously, this Monster Mountain.
oh yeah,
That looks like the 08.
yeah, COA.
So, what was the significance to this pic that you sent me?
It was just the glory days, man. I actually think that was just practice. I don't even think it was a race.
Well, you know, this one was a race.
Is that the 250 or the 450?
That was a 450.
So, what's impressive about this picture is the fact that,
The
well, one,
Satan in himself is right there.
this is obviously like a 2000-ish era.
Which
'Cause
one are you talking about?
This is 2000 or 2001 CR80 right there with the number 1 rocking, or is that number 7? I can't tell.
That's
Oh,
number one.
all right.
Yeah, you
Well,
gotta
that
watch
looks
out.
like a number 1.
Well,
that looks like a number
yeah.
7.
I don't know. Okay.
That was bar
Is that
shit before he
Corey
got
Cohn?
picked up.
991?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yep.
There's Leah.
Cantrell?
Yeah, 322.
Oh, okay.
Is that
Who's
McGraw?
924?
Yeah, that's McGraw.
Yeah.
And then 39? 99.
99.
And then there's you leading on the
Who is
76.
99?
Look at this front brake action.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
That's whole shot.
yeah.
That's
Did your dad yell at you that,
that Charlie?
you're going to have to...
Was it?
mhm.
Okay. I
Charlie.
thought that's who it was.
Charlie who? No? Don't remember.
Evans.
His
Evan?
bud.
Charlie Evans.
Oh, I've heard that name. I don't know him, though.
Yeah.
The nemesis.
This yeah, this is I'm pretty sure this is Silver Dollar.
That's definitely silver dollar.
And-
What year was that?
Well, this was when I dislocated my shoulder. Like this exact
All right.
Moment.
Is this Silver Dollar or is this Hillbilly?
No, this is Silver Dollar.
So you
Okay.
whole shot and went over the bars, or what happened?
No, I whole shotted.
Oh, you did text me something about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
shotted, and one of the riders in this photo. So like as I was going in the first turn, he decided that I don't know if he just forgot how brakes worked or if he just thought that he was going to take everyone out, but he clipped me, and you know how Silver Dollar buried the tires along the
Yeah.
sides of the track. So I hit one of those tires at the front with my front tire and went over the bars, and dislocated my shoulder. Chipped my rotator cuff, cracked my shoulder blade, like all the goodies. And then I learned that same rider was just kind of a disaster at all times. So like any time that he was on the track around you, like he was probably going to take you out because he just was like, like you rode a little squirrely sometimes.
Sometimes
He was squirrely every minute that he was ever on a bike. Just
But mine wasn't squirrely. It was just my style.
it was controlled squirrely.
That's just how I did it.
Yeah.
it was just steering with a rear wheel with it out of control. That's
Right.
what I would describe Daniel's
Yeah.
riding. So, all right, you sent me a bunch of these other pictures too. So first, I want to point out this amazing gold box chest protector that you got going on here.
State of the art.
Dude, those were the shit back in the day. So awesome. All right, what's some of the other ones you got here? Oh, I know this track because this is Tampa's my stomping ground.
Mhm.
This is Hard Rock.
Oh yeah.
I know this place well.
Yeah, I was just blown away.
There's old Randy. He's right there.
Look how
He's probably telling you how you just got to jump this
look how
triple.
skinny he looks in this picture.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Brad, you just gotta jump it. You gotta pin it, hold it wide open.
Hop off and let me show you how to do this.
I love your dad.
He's
man.
probably he's in this photo. He's probably like, watch Daniel.
No, I think this is in the period where I was always hurt. I don't think I was there. I'm guessing
Look
because
at this
that was
old
like your
school
02,
Gator
right?
back pick. This is great.
Yeah.
What year would this have been?
Oh, this was.
Zoom in.
Let's see if I can. This is on Facebook Messenger, so
This has to be.
it does weird shit when. Yeah, see, I zoom in and it like zooms out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
There's no zooming in. This has got to be between like 2000 and 2002.
Just trying to get it back to 100. See, why'd you make me do this, Daniel? It's not your fault.
We did not guy in here.
Do we not have an IT person that we know?
No, we don't know any.
All right. 50,
There you go.
60, 70. Actually, that's pretty good.
Take a picture with your phone and then just zoom in.
No, what do we got here? Billy Badass Helmet. Who painted this thing?
I was like 13. I painted all my helmets.
Did you paint that?
Yeah.
I will say, I almost pulled up a picture of your old truck. You painted a truck one time, right?
Yeah.
And
The graffiti.
yeah, from a distance, it looked cool.
Yeah.
But you got up close to it, and you're like, pretty fucking.
That was the first
this
time I
is
did
probably
graffiti.
stolen truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was during my creative phase in college. Explore things.
Are we only talking about graffiti, or are we talking about other explorations in your?
Well, that's also when I.
Dude, you
Cross-dress,
You know
yeah.
what story I just remembered? You might want to earmuff it on this one, lady. I'm still single at this point. You were as well. I went to one of your parties right off of like Delk Road,
Yeah.
and there was this black chick there, and I was hitting on her hard. And at some point, I noticed you like said something kind of flirty to her, and we did this amazing bro moment where I go, it was no word spoken. I go, like I was mouthing to you, "Are you trying to get with that?" And you just go, "It's like, my bad, I didn't know." I was like, "Go for it, it's all you." Like we had. Do you remember that at all?
I dated a lot of black chicks.
Oh yeah. Blacker the berry, sweeter the juice. Oh, I shouldn't tell it to a blonde white chick, huh?
Wait, who was that?
My wife already knows if it wasn't her, I was getting a black chick. It's just.
Yeah, that was Tupac, wasn't it?
Oh, we got a caller. Tupac.
That was.
All right. Moment of truth.
Oh, what's up, boys?
Let's see if they can pick up the voice. Because it's been years probably since they've talked to you or heard from you.
This is totally BL.
EL.
Yeah.
Who's No.
It's got to be.
Nope. No, I'm going to pull up a picture, and then I'm going to see if you can figure out who it is.
Oh, is this a surprise?
It's a surprise. They have no idea you're calling in.
Oh, wow, this is cool. I'm glad you did this. I'm gonna shut up then.
So who's this on the phone with us, guys? Nothing?
Dude, you got to talk.
Anybody?
You got to talk more than that.
Anybody?
Give me some voice.
Anybody.
We'll say
We
you
used to ride dirt bikes
and him.
together.
You and him tried to do a Thor Brap reincarnation video together.
A Thor Brap.
He ain't gonna remember that.
It sounds like Wes.
It is. We got Wes Williams on the phone.
Mr. Hitchcock.
What's up? How's it going?
Hey,
It's
I'm
only
actually
been
really
about
impressed.
20 years,
I
right?
did not think you're. I didn't see that coming to fruition there. I'm impressed.
Nice, nice.
Well, I will say
Your voice is a lot deeper now.
You're the tallest motherfucker in this picture that I pulled up. All right, so
oh, that was at Bubba's house, right?
so we're looking at
Yep.
the picture right now. We got Wes, the tall one, on a bike with no numbers. We got Daniel on the 438 with what haircut is that? Jesus Christ. Was like Encino Man your favorite movie at the time, and so you were just trying to replicate that look? He's quiet. He's pissed.
You're not cool with the hair.
So,
dude, I love
He's
it.
got to love the hair. I think
I
he
love
had
the
that
hair.
going for years. There's no way he didn't love the hair.
Yeah, I was rocking that.
That was definitely during
it
college.
worked.
So who's the dude on the left and who's the dude on the right?
Jarvis is on the left. Bubba's on the right.
Well, you got to give more name. I don't know who the fuck Jarvis is.
Randy?
Okay, I know that name. All right,
Yeah,
Bubba.
what was it?
Rider 7.
Yeah, Dune Rider.
Crosby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bubba Crosby,
yeah.
35.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I still go by AIM names.
Yeah, I know, right?
AIM names. Oh, my God.
I wish we could go back to the AIM days. It was so much simpler.
And Ron MX. Yeah, that's
Oh,
all
yeah.
I had to care about all day long. Downloading
Yeah.
some Motocross Madness 2 tracks, getting on Ron,
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
hyping up the boys.
there was one time Daniel, Brandon, and I did a glamping trip to Croom talking about like video games, and we brought MX vs. ATV Alive, and we hadn't played it in forever. Dude, Daniel waxed our ass. He was like, "Oh yeah, I played this like every single day in college." We were like, "What the fuck, dude?" It was unreal, and he hadn't touched it in like 10 years.
You said it was alive?
It was alive. It was
Yeah,
the
I
one
don't even
after Unleashed.
2011.
I don't even remember this.
Yeah.
I'm glad you do, but I don't remember it.
We were, like it was almost like we would do everything we could for you not to lap us in a
Really?
5-lap race. You were
I'm
so
usually not
fucking
good at stuff
it.
like that. That's cool.
But boys, the time frame doesn't match up here. I'm pretty sure Live came out in 2011, and I think Daniel was well out of college by then.
No. He played it a lot in college, but the camping trip was in 2011, if I remember.
Yeah, I just played MCM2 in college. That was a jam.
That's what I'm saying. Alive
Yeah.
didn't even come out
Wait.
until 11.
All right. So was Alive the one that came after? Oh, what was the
You're
one that?
talking
Are you
Unleashed.
talking
You're
Unleashed?
probably talking Unleashed.
No, there was
that was
Unleashed.
that was 05.
Oh fuck! I'm trying to remember the names and the time frames of it. There was like Moto Madness,
Yeah.
and then it was like MX Unleashed, and then there was another one, and then there was the one that actually you could move the bike and do like cool whips with.
Reflex.
Reflex. It was
Yeah.
the one
Oh,
in between
07.
Unleashed
Right.
and Reflex.
Yeah.
Whatever was in between that one, I'm telling
Really?
you, that was the one.
Untamed.
Maybe. I think it might have been that one. You're right. It might have been that one because Alive came
Man,
after.
They had some cool names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of video game talk lately on a lot of pods and shows too, because there's that new one that's supposed to come out that's really badass.
What's that?
So there's like going to be another new one that's going to come out that actually will be good. Apparently.
What's it coming out on? What
I
platform?
did the
All of them.
Kickstarter for that one.
Oh, for real?
Doing, 69 bucks.
Yep. So that should be really awesome to see.
Hell yeah. They need to get something good.
So yeah, I got Wes's number a long ass time ago from Matt Shue, and I forgot what I even reached out to him about. I think it was a question about like a movie or something. So we texted a handful of times, and I just randomly remembered I had his number when I saw this picture of you guys back in the day. And I just texted him today. I was like, hey, I don't even remember this, or do you know Daniel that well? And dude, some of the stuff that he was texting me about was great. Like, Wes,
God.
like, it's almost, Daniel was like your embarrassment experiment at the start of Vurb in a way, right?
No, it was actually well before Vurb. It was Goat Creation. So, let's see, that would have been 04 because I was on an RMZ 250, so 04. So maybe at the end of 03. No, that was January 04. That photo was taken. So, yeah, it was kind of my infancy of shooting video. And Daniel, hopefully you remember this, but yeah, we recreated the Hanson Chad Reed Brop Thor commercial, but we made it for Fox, bro. And the end of it, I remember there was this fox head, and like I figured out this flame effect, bro, and it like caught on fire. It was sick. And it's honestly, it's so bad. And
I wish I could remember the whole video. I remember parts of shooting video, but I don't remember like the whole final production.
Anthony asked if I knew where it was, and I could probably find it with a few minutes of searching, but I was like
too embarrassed.
It would embarrass me so badly, and you tremendously worse. So I'm like, I think we should just keep that one locked away.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, dude, how? Like, honestly, because I listen to like Winners Take Y'all and all the pods you guys do and watch a lot of the videos and stuff. How you guys should bring back, like, do a just retro embarrassment. Like, dude, this was the beginning. Because, like, I'm starting this show out, right? And I'm sure if I keep this thing going for 5-10 years, I'm going to look back at some of this shit and just be like, what the fuck was I thinking? You know what I mean? But it'd be funny to revisit those things of, like, its infancy.
Oh, yeah.
And just like some of the bad things that just happened, like the outtakes are just bad shit that went down.
Hey, then in 10 years, when you want to resurface your old clips, I'll do the same. Okay.
Exactly. So.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Dude, I remember.
Funny. I'll delete the credits off of it so it doesn't have my name. No one will have to know it came from me. It'll just have Daniel stuff. Daniel Hitchcock.
Oh, perfect. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so I didn't realize, because this is one of those things, because Daniel's kind of one of those humble dudes that won't like brag about some of the cool shit that he's been a part of, and I feel like this would be one of them, because when you text me that, this is something that I mean, fuck, I've known Daniel for a long ass time, and I've never once heard of like doing videos with you back in the day, so I would love to see some of these videos and get to explore them.
I have my very first video I ever did on my personal YouTube, and Daniel might be in that one. But yeah, there's definitely the first 2 years of videos I still have in like a Windows Media WMV format. Chance of those ever making it back online is pretty slim. Although I guarantee there's still some GPG 2003 DVDs floating around. I know Randy Jarvis does have one. It might be the only one left in existence. There's one in my mom's house, and I bet you it has this Fox commercial on it, if I had to bet.
Oh, nice.
I would love to see that and a lot of the old footage. And I mean, I've heard you guys talk about some of the old filming days and like how you kind of have so much stuff just stored in places and you're not even sure if you could kind of find it from over the years.
Oh, I know. I'm an archive master. When I tell you I don't know where this thing is at, it would take. I could show it to you right now. I just I was trying to play it humble, but yeah, I still have all my old tapes. Most of it's still accessible. I literally have a crazy server set up here where if you wanted everything I shot from 2003, I could click 2 buttons and show it to you. So the amount of embarrassing things I come across myself as I'm like converting old footage is like. I showed my wife some stuff I came across last week, and I'm like, my Southern accent was so strong. I had a hard time showing it to her. So yeah, it's like I said, 10 years from now, you can go back and look at your collection and be like, yeah, you know what? Let's just we'll hit the archive button on these.
So did you have to like look your wife dead in the eyes and be like, hey, you're not going to leave me if I show you some of these videos, right? Like,
no, I've shown her enough throughout the years. Because it's always so embarrassing because like you never really see me on camera, you just hear me. And like I remember showing her like these ones of PJ Larson Loretta Lynn's 03, and I'm like, hey PJ, tell me about how your race went out there. And it's like just so exaggerated and so bad, and I'm like, I seriously used to talk like that.
So it's kind of funny is like I grew up in Tampa and I moved up here in 2007, and I went back down to visit like 2 years later, and my Tampa buddy's like, man, you got the Southern twang. It's so crazy. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm talking normal, but like just like a handful of words. I just extra twang it, you know, and they just give me so much shit. So I'm sure that's what happened with you. You moved away a good little bit and then it's like, like just fade and you pick up some of the normal ish.
Oh yeah,
normal accents.
Yeah. Come home for a week or two, get a few Coors Lights, and it comes back out.
Hanging out with the right crew on the right couch and just bullshitting.
Oh yeah, I'm sure if I hung out with old Daniel again, we'd it'd come back out.
Oh yeah.
Shit, when are you coming back into Georgia? That'd be cool to try to get a few like OGs and back in studio here.
Dude, you know what? I saw. I can't do it this year, but I saw Matt Walker's doing that vet Masters
Oh,
thing.
yeah,
at
yeah,
Chicone,
yeah.
and, like Chicone is still like my favorite track on hers. So
Same.
my daughter just turned 2, so like I've been in the thick of it for the past few years. So kind of hard for me to like go work for weeks at a time and then come home and tell my wife I'm going to leave again for another few days and go ride my dirt bike. So
Well, bring the whole fam.
yeah, it's just tough now that she just turned 2. I got to buy 4 plane tickets. Like anywhere you go, it costs freaking
No. If
$9,000.
she's 2, you should be able to like just put her in like a cat costume and just put her like in the cage and then just ship her, right?
My comfort kid.
Yeah.
No.
Overnight, she'll be fine. Dude.
Put a service animal.
Sir, your
vest on her.
cat is crying like a
She
child.
just
No.
lays under the seat.
It does that. The cat does that. It cries like a kid. I know it's asking for fruit snacks, but just ignore that.
I'm looking at this photo.
I did do a few
swear.
races this year though, so I came out of retirement. So when I saw Matt Walker's thing pop up, I'm like, that's definitely on my radar next year.
I'm looking at this photo and I swear it's like, you know, when you look back at like the 50s or the 60s of like these dudes like covered in mud and they got this photo taken of like on some old Elsinores or something. And then you look at this photo, it's like that's what kids these days think of is like the old school.
Oh yeah, those were the old classic bikes.
Honestly, I'm really pissed at you for saying that because that has never entered my mind whatsoever.
Look at it.
But because now you said that shit, that is going to enter my mind every time because you're 100% right. Because that's like 30 years ago, it seems like. No, it's not that long ago.
Not that long.
20.
20.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, yeah.
That's a hard 20.
That's a hard 20.
And everybody has the exact same number format, so it just looks like this is all there was. This is it. Like everybody's got chest protectors.
Oh.
This is old school.
But even so, like
HRP chest protectors, dude.
Yeah.
You had to have them.
Dude, I just realized that's an MCM sticker like on my number plate there. That was homeboy that used to play with us a lot. I think it's XPR. It's like, you know how you had all the groups on there, you get in there and do like the head-to-head racing? That's exactly what that is.
Sorry, that's a little bit beyond me.
You didn't do that?
No, you old
thought
fuck.
everybody did
No, that's I don't know anything about that.
So much
Oh
fun.
my god! I didn't have the picture up. I had to put you guys on speaker to check this out.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Oh,
Yeah.
you see it now.
Look how your AMSOIL stickers, they're not even like cut out. They're just big white.
Oh yeah. No, not at all.
Here, I'm zooming in on the pic right now. What other stuff that we should pick out here? That Thor chest protector.
I still have one of those.
So you're dogging my shit and you don't have a number?
I wasn't cool enough for pre-plan. Look at all you guys. Like,
I hadn't got my pro number yet.
Like, you could get that.
So Wes, the funny thing about this is I actually ended up with that bike and I fully rebuilt it and then sold it. Like I tore it down to the frame, powder coated it. Like this is that bike.
Damn.
So when you go back and look at this is what it looked like before. So actually I even had the forks anodized black, right? With a 2013 front number plate. So that's what that bike looked like at one point.
You couldn't put a new pipe on it?
No, because that shit costs money.
But isn't that the slowest bike ever made?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, we were talking about it
Absolutely.
earlier, and I told Daniel I went to go rebuild the motor and bought a new piston for it, and the thing just slapped back and forth because he overbored it, and the thing was still slower than any other manufactured 125 at that point. It was very similar to when I went in his mom.
Yeah, I mean, you could run a big bore CR in the stock class. They were that slow.
Yeah, Daniel was in the A class though. He was fast. He could make it home.
Dude,
Look at the big DMX sticker on your helmet, dude.
I know, right? I just saw that a second ago.
Oh my God, I didn't realize that was your helmet hanging on there with the
for real.
DMX sticker.
No, it's-
Holy shit, that's awesome.
This is OG picture here. This goes
He's
way
got
back.
Flames on the mouthpiece.
Yep.
I remember you painted that helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my experimenting with paint.
Amazing.
My custom sweatshirt instead of a jersey.
That's underneath my mom's house. It was the HRP one with American flag shoulders, and I think there's like eagles on it too, if I remember correctly. HRP was the shit.
Yeah, that was like some new stuff that came out. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, you gotta get this! It's clear."
Yeah.
I have an EBS neck roll on my helmet. I remember I used to wear one of those.
I got my kid one of
they
those only because of like when we put him in the side by side, like he needs the extra neck support.
Yeah, do you remember like everybody had the neck brace for a while, and it was like, all right, no, that's not cool anymore.
You know who fucked that up or kind of killed it was
No.
Rhino.
For real?
Yeah, Rhino going on the Whiskey Throttle show talking about how like it fucks up people and it does this, it does that.
Really?
Oh yeah. Like honestly, him and Steve Mathis had this like huge banter thing going on about it. Yeah, it's a big thing.
No, I never saw that. Interesting. I wonder what killed it.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
kind of what
it was like you were nobody if you didn't
now,
have that.
here's an interesting thing. One of my good buddies worked for Liette a few years back, and he had told me we were at Motocross to Nations, the last one, 22, I think so.
Not
and
sure.
he had told me like they reached out to Rhino and was like, "We will fly you down to Liette's headquarters at South America, right? Is that right, Russ? Does that sound right? No, drawing a blank. I'm pretty sure it's South America to like show him the testing that they do to show that it's what he's saying isn't right. No response back. So, I don't know.
About right.
I mean, it's all whatever you say will. It's whatever. If you can be convincing enough, you can sell. You know. I'm way too drunk to think of a good analogy.
I mean, I remember riding with some
butter
of the
to
old
an
school
Amish
guys.
person. If you're a good enough salesman, you can sell butter to an Amish person. There we go.
There were some old school guys that would wear a full face helmet. You couldn't breathe right. It would
Oh,
it would slow down your cardio.
Yeah.
Like, and I used to think that was the funniest thing. It's like, yeah, you just can't breathe right.
Does anyone have an argument for one of those like movable bottom guard, like what I don't even know, because they're not a half helmet, but they still have the mouth guard.
Oh, where it
thing.
attaches?
Yeah, but it doesn't. It moves. Like the visor.
Well, hell, I don't even remember what.
Imagine slamming the ground in this day and age with one of those.
Well,
your helmet would just.
What was the last helmet that did
know.
it? Was it a Biaffi or was it an Arai that did that?
Arai had a bunch of them. I don't know.
Yeah.
I had some knockoff shit, and I like ran into a fence at Bremen with one of those, and the fence post went through my lip.
Ooh.
It was great.
Yeah.
On a DS80.
I hate DS80s. Those things suck. Traumatizing times back in the day.
They were sick though, little two-stroke ripping machines.
Yeah, once you finally got them going like a sewing machine, they'd get going. The headlight on and everything. Or was that the DS80? I'm thinking of the DS80.
Yeah,
No,
the
the DS80 had a headlight.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was like
a long ass tailpipe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Man,
that long black
cool bikes.
tailpipe. That was what I started on.
Well, Wes, is there any other good, funny stories that would be good to bring up about Daniel? Would be embarrassing or whatever at this juncture?
Daniel, do you remember when Chad Lockett and I asked you to buy us beer?
What? A spear?
Daniel, I think what year were you born, Daniel?
Oh, I'm 82.
Yeah.
When would that have been?
I don't know. We were leaving the track one day.
I'm guessing you're the one that's 18.
Going back to hang out at my mom's house or something, and I don't think he drank, and neither did we really, but especially at that time. But I remember being like, "Oh, Daniel's 21. Get him to buy us like a 6-pack or something," and we were like on the way to my mom's house. But I remember being like, "Yo, dude, go in there and like get a 6-pack," and you're like, "What? No, no," and you wouldn't do it.
That sounds about right, honestly. I feel like I've got Daniel to break the law like 3 times.
And so
other than speeding.
So we didn't do it.
No, we didn't. Or you didn't, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then,
because I thought that we walked in with a cooler and told your mom it was Gatorade or something.
All right, maybe we did.
I thought we did. We rolled in and she called us and we was like, "Yeah, we just got Gatorade or some shit."
Okay, maybe we did end up talking you into doing it. I swear I remember your face when I first asked you, and you were like, "What?
Yeah.
No." And then I bet we peer pressured you because I'm pretty sure it was me, Lockett, and Jarvis, and like, there's no way you were resisting that peer pressure. So
no, not
maybe
the trifecta.
you were a good Samaritan.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's funny.
Yeah, you know what? You're right, because I do remember that night we got super toasted, and Chad put on like a never-ending loop of Freebird. Like,
Oh, jeez.
we might have smoked some marijuana too, if I remember correctly. So we were freaking toasted, and we just sat there for like 3 hours listening to the repeat, like in a CD player. Or just,
Is that the only song they made?
yeah.
the question is every time that the guitar solo went off, were you guys just all jamming out every time, just air guitar in it?
I think, of course, for hours. See the part's coming on again.
Turn it up.
So,
we haven't heard it in so long.
oh, that's funny.
Yeah, a whole 7 minutes until you get back to that guitar solo.
Yeah, he had like a really lifted truck back in those days too, right?
Oh yeah. The 02 Chevy 1500.
Yeah, exactly.
Dual tone paint.
Panty dropping machine,
I remember that thing.
right?
It was a meat eater.
With all 4 of us dudes and Daniel's haircut in there, we picked up all the shit.
Not suspicious at all.
Yeah, Daniel's haircut looks like somebody that's going to tell you to put the lotion back in the basket.
Yeah. Put the lotion back in the basket.
It rubs the lotion on the skin.
That doesn't do it justice. Pull up one of those other ones I sent you.
Which other ones? I pulled up all the pictures that you sent me.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. I thought I pulled up all the ones you texted me, buddy. You did send me a shit ton of pictures in one go. Well, his total truck I didn't get to yet. Wait, that was on Facebook. You texted me a bunch of that.
Facebook.
I'm gonna have to get on my Facebook and go back to 2004.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, how did this not get shown? Okay.
Hold up now.
All right. We're going to have to...
I don't know what this is.
Save all. All right. All 12 saved.
We might have to have episode 2 for revenge, depending on what this one is.
Oh, man. Dude, there's one. I don't even know what to do with this. Wes, I might just have to text you this one. Yeah, I'm gonna text you this one right now, Wes. There we go.
Oh no, am I gonna be embarrassed?
No, it's Daniel. Like somebody's child's being touched. Looking at this picture.
Did you text it to me so I know what we're talking about?
What's fucked up is like I hit the save to all these things and then it just didn't, I guess, save or send them to him. I don't know.
The damn IT guy.
Look at that.
Yeah, you saw it. Isn't it so dirty and grungy? Oh, I need a shower after looking at that picture. All right, it'll take a few seconds for it to actually send to my mail. So I sent it from my phone to my mail.
You got me curious now.
Bi curious or bike? Oh, what was that South Park episode? He's like, no, I'm not a fag, but I'm just bike curious. No, you don't remember that?
I didn't know.
All right, sorry, I got an answer to your question.
All right. What's the question?
Funniest thing I can think of.
For Daniel?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. And Wes, just to backtrack a little bit, I said to Brad, I was like, what's your funniest memory of Daniel?
So, and this was one of the things I texted you actually. I called it oil spill at Hard Rock.
Okay, yep.
So.
Oh, I remember this event.
So we had gone down there and we were there for, I don't know, I feel like a week or longer, just camped out, practicing. And Daniel was talking so much shit about his lap times. And he was like, I'm so fast. I don't even use the brakes. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, I don't use the brakes at all. Like I never let off the gas. And I was like, okay. So I don't know what he was doing, but I walked over and poured motor oil in his calipers.
Oh, shit.
Dude, that's like one of the most fucked up things I've ever heard somebody say they did to their
Well,
friend.
no, it's like I told him to do it because he went over there. He was acting like he was gonna do it. And I was like, do it. I don't need that shit. Like I remember it now.
So I was like, okay, blip, 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 blip. And then I think he did one lap.
No, I ate the fence trying to get on the track. I mean, I still got on the track after that, but like it didn't go well.
I swear to God,
I did not know that oil was that
6
good.
hours rubbing his pads and discs, trying to clean the oil off of his shit.
That shit would not stop at all. You pulled the brakes and it went faster.
All right, here's the picture we were just talking about. Look at this hair. Oh my God. Not only his hair. Brad, did you take the hair off of your head and put it on?
I let him borrow it.
Gave it extensions. Yeah.
Dude, I never saw this picture of this. Were you actually like in a band at this point?
Maybe unofficially. I was probably singing to myself.
Or just going through like a really big Bush phase? The band, not the,
Well, no, the bush is the other
can't
photo.
have hair like that without going through a bush phase.
Wait, which other photo? Oh, the graduation photo?
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
Wes
one?
hasn't seen that. I'll have to text this one to him. This one?
Wait, hold on, zoom in. I think that's almost the same hair as the other one.
Yeah, it's just not.
Why do I look like I'm redheaded?
I gotta send this one to you right now, Wes, so you know what we're looking at. All right,
That
it's
is
on the way.
strange.
I wonder about that
And it's
jaw.
and Brad started growing his hair out from the other picture.
Yeah, I got like an inch.
Nice. Yeah.
What year was this?
So if I that would have been 08.
So this is high school?
Well, no, that's his college.
No, that's
so
when I
That
graduated
would be me
college.
like 3 years after high school.
Ugh. Look at the bit hanging out the front. What is that?
What's that?
That's
So
hair.
you have 10 extra pounds.
You
too,
think
maybe
you think
20?
you can hold that back?
It's busted out the front of
Yeah.
the cap.
If you take that hat off, you're gonna get eaten alive.
And hey, we can talk as much shit as we want on you guys with the graduation photos and all this other stuff, but you're a goddamn engineer you're the head engineer of all the engineers of a well-respected company.
Well,
And you're an architect, Brad.
until
So-
somebody puts me in my place, I'm gonna claim to be the fastest Georgia Tech graduate. I'll put that out there. I may get
Damn,
corrected
you're
on that.
You're probably right.
No, he probably is.
I just try to find that one niche market to where I can actually be like, all right, this is my pond. This is one I can fish in.
I'm the big fish in this fucking pond.
Fuck this pond.
I actually like the previous one.
Yeah.
I like the hairstyle.
This one?
No, the previous,
Yeah.
that one.
That one?
No, that
On yours?
Not me.
no, I ran that one for a while.
No, Daniel.
Yeah, that was back in the day.
Honestly, Brad, if I'm going to look at this picture of you, I
looks
feel
like
like
I'm
you're
balding.
trying to be an IT designer of what was it popular back then? The fucking iPhone thing. What was an iPhone? Oh God, I feel like an
A
idiot.
razor?
No, like
The BlackBerry.
no, just trying to be the shuffle. I don't know. What was the thing that was before?
The Zune? The
Soon. Oh, God.
What are we?
Soon. Oh, we've gone off the rails on this one.
No, I think I was going through a period where I was like, fuck haircuts. Bzz.
Yeah. I did that for a while. It's a lot cheaper.
Huh? I know, they look crazy.
I will say this, Wes. Brad is a bit of a bourbon and scotch and whiskey connoisseur, and he brought over some really good shit, and we've been sipping on it the whole time. So we're pretty well lit right now.
Good job, boys. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, but I mean, old Ezra.
Oh.
So had to.
Oh, old Ezra Lust.
Yeah.
Dude, you want to know
Look
what's
at that.
funny? Is I was at the Great Escape race, right? Which I'm gonna need some of that old Ezra there, sir. And I saw my buddy Blair Harrell, and I went like brake slid and started BSing with him. I'm talking with Blair for like a good 3-4 minutes,
And I realized that he's been talking to Ezra Lusk the whole time, and I've been bullshitting with the two of them. I'm been fucking talking to Ezra this whole time, and I didn't even know. And I looked over and I was like, oh, hey. And a few months back, I actually ran into it at Tuna, the mountain bike park, like right down the road from our house.
Yeah.
So we got the bullshitting. And the only reason I even said anything to him at the time is he had a Calhoun motocross shirt on. And I was like, hey, you go to Calhoun motocross at all? And he turned around and I was like, Yogi? He's like, oh God.
Oh boy. One of you guys.
Here comes the fanboy.
Yeah. That is badass, though.
So, Brittany's her oldest son, Ezra, is named after Ezra Lusk.
Okay.
Yeah. Her ex was also into motocross, so pretty cool. Pretty cool story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ezra's touching everyone.
Ezra's in my mouth right now. Oh, this is a good shit show. Well, Wes, you got any other stuff we want to touch on? Maybe touch is a soft word.
We're doing a lot of touching here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's nice. Say, Wes, when are you coming back to Georgia? We gonna ride some dirt bikes together? We're gonna have a good time.
At the Great Escape next year. You know what? That's a good point. I'm going to come to. I want that race too. I want Matt Walker's race and that one. So
The
I
Great
just need
Escape. That's gonna be. Look, I already put on my family calendar the Great Escape race.
So what is this?
Essentially, it was like a charity race that Kevin
That's the
Kelly
grass track, right?
and Winners Take You All. They kind of taught. Yeah, the grass track race.
Yeah.
You
It'll
guys
be time to start the bike.
Big Gun. There was like a Big Gun track back in the day, like early 2000s. It's that.
Okay.
I was gonna say Running Brand.
I remember that. I never rode any of that, but I
didn't get
remember
to race
hearing about it.
Running Brand was fun as shit.
Yeah.
I remember you
that.
talking about
Yeah.
that.
But it's just an all.
Was Running Brand the one on like the Alabama border?
It was. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, that place was.
That was
I'm
so much
I
fun.
think I did a lot of laps
Yep.
with Hitchcock there.
What was the one like going down 85, like right after you go in Alabama?
Big Cedar.
Big Cedar.
Yeah. That was a good track.
That's where
That's the one I'm thinking. That's the one I'm thinking of. Big Cedar.
Yeah,
Big Cedar.
that was a really good track. I don't know how they fucked that up. Because that was
Well, right now when I drive past it, it's just a tree farm.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know how they fucked that up and they lost it because that was such a good track.
Honestly, I got to ride it one time and I got a front flat and I was so fucking pissed.
That's where most of the pictures on my Facebook are from. Is Big Cedar and Monster Mountain.
Where? So was Running Brand the one on the way to Aonia?
No, opposite direction.
Yeah,
it was like
it was
on the
toward
Georgia
Alabama.
Alabama line. It was just an all grass track. It's almost kind of like Sparky's was too.
Yeah.
Like just
Very similar.
Yeah.
On 20, right?
Except Sparky's went into a little bit of almost single track feeling for a second. Like Running Brand never slowed
Yeah.
down.
It did. So the Great Escape race does have like a small wood section, and honestly, it was the second race back since my fucking knee injury.
Yeah.
And I dabbed it really hard, and I was like, God damn it! But it wasn't too bad. Like it was like it's 1, 2, 3, 4 turns in the woods, so it's not too bad.
So mostly grass and then
Mostly grass, yeah. There's 2 really big table jumps, one small, I wouldn't say small step up, 50-foot step up, but 2 pretty good size tables. But if you don't want to clear them, you don't have to either. So, who's tapping? Stop tapping.
So they do that once a year?
Yeah.
Is it still like the similar class structure or they have like
Yeah, same. So what they try to do is like vintage on Saturday, modern on Sunday kind of thing. So they still have a few modern classes on Saturday. So
Dang, I'm in the 35 plus.
Oh, yeah.
bitch, by next year, I'll be in the 40 plus for the Great Escape race.
I know you're
Oh,
one
my
year
God.
one year
Yeah.
ahead of me.
My balls will be down to my knees. Talking about Johnson swinging one way, ball swinging the other, like while racing. Just woof, woof. That's okay. Daniel's like 43 now, right?
Not yet, but I'm rolling in on it. Coming in hot.
Shit, Wes, how old are you?
I'm 38, so I got a few years to go before the plus 40.
Oh,
Yeah.
so we're the same age.
But you know what? That's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on that for for all my glory.
Yeah.
plus 35, plus 30 dudes are too fast. Plus 40 is my game.
That's a good idea. I'm gonna start training.
My whole life.
I'm gonna start training now,
Now,
and
so you'll
wait.
be ready for the
and
plus
I'm gonna
40.
come out at plus 40.
But every
So-
gap, it feels like all the fast guys just keep moving up to the same age group.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like, fuck. Now all the fast guys are in the plus 40.
The logic never plays out.
Yeah, it doesn't. It never works out that way. Because the same fuckers that like have our same mentality of like, oh, I'm just gonna hold out until this, right?
yeah.
And then they come out of the woodworks and you're like, fuck. But
plus 50.
But Brad, seriously, every like week I'm gonna check in with you. I'm gonna make sure you're good to go. Make sure you're training. And then you're going to come out for your plus 40 race, and I'm going to saw your fucking front wheel off and break your wrist, and then I'll be like, oh, you should go back to retirement.
You know what? That's almost enough motivation to get me to want to.
You won't.
Yeah.
How many times have I destroyed your back and your arm already? We've talked about on this show?
Yeah, twice.
Yeah.
So.
All right. What's going to
this-
happen again?
This sounds
You
like the
won't.
making of
You won't?
a Facebook event.
You hear this?
I mean, this is foreplay for a long-term relationship here.
For pink flips?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some zebra stripes.
I'll put a 02RN 125 on the
Wes,
line.
there's a lot of backstory that you're missing out on with this to know how funny this shit is. Oh, fuck. That was really good. I'll give you that.
I mean, you've talked a lot of shit to me over the years.
I talk a lot of shit to everybody.
I know, but I haven't. We've like literally almost never rode together. Like it's been.
Yeah, you
Well,
both
it's
need
not
to.
my fault you were scared to ride with me.
I
You
know.
need to start training. We got to fix this.
Yeah, apparently.
I mean, every single hair scramble I've done with Daniel, I've waxed his ass. So,
Except for when you lit the barn on fire.
so this is
Yeah.
actually really funny.
That's a
That
good
hair
point.
scramble that we played back and we showed all those highlights,
Yeah.
I actually did beat him. And on the way home, I played "There Goes My Hero" by, and then I played Enriquez, "He Could Be My Hero, Baby," and I played something else where I think Daniel didn't talk to me for a week because I just rubbed it in that I actually beat him in a race.
Well,
It
see,
was- it was
it's
kinda
not
fucked
the
up.
loss. I was a little annoyed with the whole. It's wide open. You don't need bark busters. You can run full width bars. And I'm sitting here just smoking clutch in first gear trying to get through some of that shit. I was like, that motherfucker.
It's not my fault you're not smart enough to know I'm lying
And I
to
had
you.
bark busters at home. Man, it's like shit. I could have been ready, but you're like, you don't need that.
He's like, I got the whole build up ready.
Oh God, good times.
Plus 50s.
45.
All
It's been
right.
about 10 years, right?
We probably should start to wrap this show up a little bit. The bad part is we still have a bunch of stories we can go through. We can keep this going for another 3 hours, guys. You gonna drive your ass home?
Guys.
I say let's make some new stories this year. We'll ask Daniel to buy us another 6-pack for Kevin's race.
Yeah, let's do it
and
for
that
old
sounds
time's
like a
sake.
good reunion. I'm into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it, bruh.
We'll get some beer. We'll call it Gatorade and have a good time.
Oh yeah, don't tell my mom, please.
No doubt. I never rat.
All right, man. Well, I'm so glad you called in. I greatly appreciate it,
Yeah,
and
good to
we
hear from you, man.
will definitely keep me posted when you're coming back to Georgia. Well, and you honestly, you need to let me know when you're coming back to Georgia because I'm gonna have to force these two fuckers to get their shit together because that's the only way it's gonna happen.
I got to have at least 2 weeks.
Well,
My shit don't run.
I need 2
2
months.
months.
Yeah.
Hitchcock, just so you know, Billy Browder I do have a YZ125 2005 model sitting at his house. I crashed my brains out at Aonia in 01 on it and never really fixed it up, but it's sitting in his garage. I do have a bike there, so I could pretty much do like a lap at a time. So even if all 4 of us did go to the same track, we could like just relay race or relay
race, do time trials.
Yeah, we could like split the entry and be like, dude, we're not gonna all be out there at the same time.
Yeah, it's one bike. We only it's $5 a piece, right?
Right.
We don't
I mean-
all have
Wes, what city is that bike in?
Billy lives in where the hell did I used to live? Flowery Branch, Auburn. He lives in Auburn.
Wait, Auburn,
Georgia or Alabama?
Yeah, Auburn, Georgia.
Where the fuck
So,
is Auburn,
like-
Georgia?
Like close
Way up north.
to Lawrenceville.
Yeah.
Oh, like heading to like Monroe, like scrub and dirt kind of thing.
Yeah, close. Yeah, he's probably like
Other way.
35 minutes from Monroe.
I was gonna say, I'll get that bitch and make it sure it's running good.
Oh, all right. don't tempt me with a good time.
Dude, I'm not tempting. I'm just telling you. Like,
I mean, I'll bring my 04 RM250.
all right, no, don't listen to his ass because I've told him for the past 3 years I will fix his bike up and get it running for him.
It runs.
And never brought it over.
That's because I don't need you.
Well, apparently you do because the thing still doesn't fucking run.
It does. I wrote it like a week ago.
Yeah. Did the steering stem actually turn, or did it go click, 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 click,
Oh, no.
click, click,
I mean,
click?
it needs fork seals. It needs, brake lever.
Hey, these are the things I can do for you.
But you
Just
can't,
don't let him do
you
it
can't
tough.
fix my joints, though. That's the problem.
Don't waste your time on someone that doesn't appreciate it. I will appreciate your time.
I will knock this shit out for you. I will purposely go ride scrubbing dirt to get yelled at by the owner to get your shit fixed.
You should fix Wes's. I'll fix mine.
Someone messaged me on Facebook like last month and said that they're selling that track like next year or something.
Really?
Like they know or it's up for sale already, maybe.
Look, one of our things on the show that I told my buddies is like not to talk shit on things, so we're just gonna cut that off right now.
Oh, okay. Well, I always wanted to buy that place, and whoever messaged me, I was like, if I still lived there, it would honestly be my dream to own that place.
No, and honestly, if you owned it, it would be a killer.
It would be fun.
Yeah,
that would be fun. I used to get to prep it a few times back in the day before some races.
Did you, when you prepped it, do you actually have like hypodermic needles, like you had to pull out of your skin or the tires, or?
Yeah, I thought they got away from that reputation. It's been a few years since I've been.
No,
out there,
it did. It did.
No, I haven't seen that since way back.
That was at the very beginning. And for anybody, like, I'm jokingly talking shit on it. It actually was a dump, and they.
And we're talking
a
like
problem.
90s.
Yeah, there was a problem with that, so that was always like a stigma on it. So.
Are we talking about Monroe?
There was a lot of trash that used to come up.
I mean, it was fun. I've spun a lot of laps there.
Dude, it's one of the funnest places. We showed a video earlier of our buddy
I forgot about
looping
that.
out on that track.
Yep.
That was really fucking
the track.
good.
I have done more laps on that track than that and the X track, if you guys remember that.
Oh, yeah, I remember the X track.
In Loganville.
Talk about a sketchy
No,
place.
that was done before I came here.
That was so much fun, but man, they had some big shit there.
Loganville, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we know what happened there.
What happened there?
You don't know?
Enlighten me.
So apparently, they were like they flagged everyone off the track so they could do maintenance.
Oh, I've heard this.
And
yeah,
I guess someone was still riding and
like hit the tractor.
The loader was like out there and they landed in the bucket.
Yeah,
and died. Yeah. So,
but that's not what shut it down though. But that did happen.
That's okay. So what shut it down? Because that's terrible.
They had like a horse lady neighbor, because I think the bucket thing happened in like 99 or 2000 if I remember correctly, and it didn't get shut down until into 01 or maybe beginning of 02. So they got sued by the horse lady neighbors, and they didn't feel like fighting it, so they shut her down.
That's
always the crazy horse lady.
Yeah,
that's way less of a cool story.
What's more likely to shut down the track?
Fucking horse
lady. A death into a tractor bucket loader or crazy horse lady?
That damn horse lady.
Yeah.
I don't know that the bucket dude died. I think it was just like a pretty gnarly injury.
That's what I heard too. I heard they made it, but that's like rumor mill.
Right. Who knows?
Yeah, this was back in the day. The only way you could find out stuff was on an AOL chat room. So
or carrier pigeons.
It was like hearsay big time back then.
Right.
So, but yeah, David Iser, that does DMXS, he was always in touch with I think they were called the Johnson brothers that own that place. So they still run it's still there. Like you can go back there and like remnants of the track are still there. And I've always wanted to call Loganville. If I win the lottery, I definitely want to do this. So I want to call Loganville City Council and just be like, let us go in there. I want to bring Dream Tracks in there. We're going to rebuild the track and just open it up for 1 week in a year. And you'll freaking make millions of dollars in Loganville. Every hotel will be booked up and we'll probably set the horse lady's house on fire. Not the big deal.
And you can open every weekend after that one event.
Campfire Stories.
Absolutely. I'm in on it. Can we do a startup for that?
So is
like, I wonder, that's what I've thought about. Like I know how much it costs to get Jason Baker to come up there and rebuild the track. Who knows if the track would actually be into it? But like, you know, if say you limited it to like 400 riders, everybody'd have to pay a pretty good grip of money. But I'm always like, even if you were to do that at Lake Whitney or Big Cedar or anything, like go pay 40, 50 grand to have a shell of the track put back together. And like, I don't know, would I pay $1,000 to go ride the X track again? I probably would.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine the nostalgic feeling that
A one-time event meant X track. I think a lot of people would.
Yeah, right. Like, but that's
Well,
what I mean.
shit. How about Bremen?
I was about to say, how
That's what I
much?
was gonna
How much
say.
would you? How much would
honestly-
you pay to go back and ride like Prime Bremen?
That's what I was going
Prime
to say.
Bremen.
Isn't Bremen still there?
I was at
Yeah.
Big Springs with Bremen, or
Yeah.
Big Springs with Bremen. Goddamn whiskey. You fucked me up, Brad. I was at Big Springs a few weeks ago, and Kyle Kelly was there, and I was bullshitting with him. And I've said this to him several times, like, dude, rent me Bremen for the weekend. I will get Shoe out there. I will have this shit going. We will make a fucking bank doing one race a year at Bremen.
So what is the deal?
We don't have 5 more hours to go into this shit, okay?
It's easy though. They don't own the easement anymore,
Yes.
so they can't even get into their own property. Because when we brought Vurb back, we were gonna do this. We were gonna buy. Me and my partner were gonna buy the other lot that they sold back to the county.
The county,
Right.
for the school.
Sell back the other half of the track, and they own the easement into the track. So Kevin wanted to build a house out there last year or 2 years ago. And
Yeah.
he couldn't get the permits for it because he couldn't get a permit to use the easement to get to a house.
Yep. And then he built his new house, and the shit burned to the ground,
And it
which was fucking awful.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
Dude, what?
So
Yeah.
the actual land, is the land like there's no way to access the land? Is that what you're saying?
Correct. 100%. Like their land is 100% surrounded by someone else's land.
Landlocked.
I didn't even know that
All
was
right.
legal.
So, all right. Is the land that's being blocked, is it the Indian owner of the gas station entering that place? Because I feel like we could just offer him a ruby and we'll be able to get in.
I mean,
No, but dude, that gas station made so much money off of us over the years, right?
yeah.
Like everybody leaving that
Yeah.
track knew that dude, talked to him, he was cool as shit, right?
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like we just, need to get like 10 people to go in together and buy somebody's piece of property that's
How about, so
cock-blocking
you
it.
remember the old car? There was a dude that had the house, had the carport, had 2 old cars, and the signs on the front of the windshields
Yeah.
were like, it's not for sale, right?
Yeah.
Like that dude's backyard backed up to Bremen's other entrance.
Right.
Like maybe that guy.
Or
Yeah. I remember
power
looking on
lines, like,
Google Maps a few years back and looking at all the piece of property. I feel like it'd be doable if you rolled in and offered the right person the right amount of money, but I don't know. Running a dirt bike track's hard.
You know, honestly,
Yeah.
like this is kind of fucked up to say, but I'm gonna say it because I'm drunk. So that old dude with those cars that's not for sale, he might have passed over at this point, and old Mrs. is looking for a man to
Shit,
satisfy
and now
her.
it's for sale.
We could find a young motocross dude that's gonna satisfy this woman. That's just gonna give him up, like give him the land, right?
And that's going to make her like
Yeah.
the sport.
You've
too.
got like a young brother, right?
No,
No, like he won't do it, or
both. Well, I mean, I do have a new alleged son, Shane.
how old is he?
Shane would be the one.
On it?
Shane would do it for the team.
Okay,
Yeah.
we can make this happen.
Totally. Shane looks
You ever
like
seen
Patrick
that
Swayze.
meme that where it's like an old granny putting her underwear back on, and she's like, "That wasn't so bad," and it's like to hunt her land or something. Like it's similar thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can make this
Shane
happen.
could totally make some shit happen.
And look,
If,
I've got the
if you
camera
guys wanna
equipment.
see
I'll
what it
film.
looks like, I flew the drone over it in 2020. So I think if you go to my YouTube or the Vurb Moto YouTube and type in Bremen 2020, it should be on there somewhere. There's definitely I put a bunch of drone footage on there. It's crazy.
It's still all there.
Yeah. Did
Yep.
you want to know my proudest moment that is still stamped into Bremen history right now? So I have this plate in my arm. Change the camera angle. So I got this plate in my arm, right? That I got at Bremen from raising my arm because my spark plug cap flew off. Dude landed on me, snapped my arm. So cut to a few years later, I'm showing Nick Gaddy how to jump the Mexican. He's pacing me. I boner aired the fuck out of this thing. So how big was that jump? $140?
Yeah, it was
So I'm
huge.
buck 40 on an 05 KX 250 two-stroke, just boner aired. I landed that thing. It front wheel slapped so hard, I nose wheelied to the end of existence. It finally let me go, and this plate in my arm saved my arm from breaking again. It hit the post in front of the Kubota sponsor sign and pushed the post into the Kubota sign. So in the bottom of the U of the Kubota sign is this massive dent that is still there today that my plate in my arm put there. Just from like the gnarliest air boner. He said, he's like, dude, I saw your front fender above your helmet and you're just like climbing a ladder trying to get up on the bike. And then when it landed, it just front fucking nose wheelie the whole way into it.
So was that when it was the single over table, or was it full blown triple then?
No. It was a single over table. That what you're talking about is
the Mexican.
The Mexican,
right?
not the Ombre. The Ombre was the full triple that Chisholm did annihilated his wrist on.
Is he the one that tried to hit on the 250F?
No, he tried to hit on 125.
Okay.
That's the story. But I've also been told it was Kevin Walker. So I don't know.
I was there one day when somebody tried on a 250F and they made it about 80% of the way there. I don't remember who it was. It was it was four-stroke nationals back then, like that first year they built it.
Bremen, like, I feel like anyone who lives in Georgia is like, oh yeah, Bremen's a legend. Like,
yeah,
that track,
dude. If we could bring back a Bremen back in the day.
That big loamy turn up there by the shop.
Oh yeah,
like where they just dump all the sawdust, like that one big sweeper.
Oh yeah.
Good times. All right, we're about 3 hours into this thing, and I am way too drunk. All right, Wes. Well, for real, dude, greatly appreciate you calling in. Holy fuck, you've been talking to us for 52 minutes.
I mean, he's a guest on the show now.
And here I'm sitting on my computer doing research on Bremen. So, you know, you guys do the same. Call me back next week, and we can talk about disagreement. Who's going to go after what landowner, and we'll make this happen.
All right.
Yeah,
we've already got a spy that's going to bang the old chick to
let
get
us know. Let us know the business deal we got to put together.
All right, boys. Good time. Good chatting with you.
All right.
Take it
See
easy,
you, man.
Later, dude.
Bye. Holy shit. I still have like half of the stories and jokes to go through. Like, that was amazing. I'm so glad he called in. All right. So are we going to talk any more shit, or should we just wrap up this shit show and we'll maybe do another one?
That's your show. I'm good to go. Are you okay sitting there looking beautiful? You want to join? No.
Come on. All right, just let me do some cocaine, and then we're good to go. But you got to go back. There's a funny clip where I offered one of my guests cocaine. It's hilarious because the dude's like straight edge.
Yeah.
Like never drank or done anything. And I was like, you said you wanted Coke. So here's some Coke. Yeah. Huh? Well, it was baking soda. It wasn't real cocaine. Jesus Christ.
Hey, that was Vic Tarini, wasn't it?
Do you think you're on here? Huh?
It was Vic Tarini, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Frank.
That was...
Yeah, that was good. All right.
He puts a lot of prep into this.
Yeah. Honestly, this is one of the least prepped shows because last week I was in fucking Disney. So, like, I usually use the pre-week, the prep for the week of the show. That's why I do it like every other week. Yeah. I want to go through any pictures or things we go before any further. What about this thing? What happened here? Is that you?
Oh.
Yeah.
That was somebody elbowed you.
Dude, that looks so much like your little brother. Like, I wasn't sure if that was you or your little brother.
I don't have a little brother.
Your cousin?
I mean, it looks like I should be part of, like, the Backstreet Boys or something.
Backstreet thumb broke. All right.
That came from Hillbilly Hills.
No, you... All right.
You
it's
got
gotta be a
rated on
cousin,
that one,
then.
right?
Yeah.
There's like a young kid that I've seen at your parties and other things.
May I have cousins?
Yeah, it's got to be a cousin I was thinking of. I saw this pic and it looked just like... I was like, was that him?
I don't feel like that looks like me or anyone else I'm related to. It's like Enrique Iglesias' son.
Oh, so like I could be your hero, baby.
Yeah.
Kind of like the song I played
Oh,
when
yeah.
I beat him at the hair scramble on the
Oh,
way
yeah.
home.
No, that was one of those days where, I said, like, when things aren't going right, you should
Just
hang
get the
it
fuck
up.
out.
Yeah. So
Yeah, honestly, I kind of feel like it's bullshit because I've had those days too, and I'm like, push through it and everything's fine. Then I've had those days too, and I don't walk for 6 months.
yeah. So
So-
imagine if you just was like, nah. No, everything that was at Hillbilly Hills, and like everything went wrong with my bike that whole weekend.
So this is pretty funny that we were talking about a DS80 earlier.
Yeah.
Dude, that looks just like the DS80 that I rode that I hated. That is a DS?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what that's what I started on. That was my first bike. That was at Riverview on the kid track. But now the bird thumb, that was my bike kept like fucking up the entire practice, and literally on the gate for the first moto wouldn't start. And my dad, he like took another bike, went back to the truck, came back, they throw up the 30-second, and you're like, no. And so they give you like 2 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's like changing a spark plug, like literally on the gate, and somehow the bike cranks. So I jump on it, take off, and I was probably front mid pack on the start. And Hillbilly was like kind of uphill, and then
Mhm.
they
It
like
dropped into that thing
dropped
that
down.
if you were badass enough, you could clear. Yeah.
So like on the way back in, bike locked up, and someone like their handlebar hit my elbow and just snapped my thumb. And like the craziest thing was this part, like my thumbnail was the only thing you could see, and it was over here by my wrist.
Oh.
Like I pulled my glove off and I was like, what the fuck? Like, where's my thumb? Like literally it was. And so we went to the local
Ugh.
hospital in Macon, and they were like, my dad comes in, he's like, can you guys fix this? And they're like, yes. And we go back, and then they're like, you need a real surgeon. Like, we can't do anything. He's like,
Fuck you.
That's like, I'm gonna burn this hospital down.
You need a real surgeon.
So he like did 120 all the way to Scottish Rites with his flashers on, and
Yeah.
and like we got there, and
I could see him doing that.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was very unhappy.
So, Daniel, this is a story that I must get out. 2 parts of it. The fact that you went to Loretta Lynn's in B class and your parents dropped you off because they were on vacation. So that's one of the parts of Loretta stories that I want to get out of you.
Oh yeah. Well, he was there too, because it was. Well, nobody expected me to get in that year. I was already jacked up. That was before I tacoed the wheel on that same bike.
All right, so this has always blown me away about like your talent and ability. Like, you didn't come from a family of dirt bikes. You got into dirt bikes somehow, which I still don't really know. And you got to race Loretta's in B class, and your parents don't know shit about this. They're on the way to vacation, and they just know they need to drop you off at this race.
Nah, they weren't there. It was my grandparents dropped me off.
Your grandparents,
Yeah.
So not even your parents,
But
your
they had-
grandparents
But
dropped
they had
you
friends
off.
up there. But the thing is like it wasn't booked. I forgot how out. I was like one out on alternate, and it was like, you're not getting in anyways. So it's like, go hang out. And then it came up, somebody got hurt in practice or whatever. So I ended up riding that year. But yeah, no, they were just visiting friends. I was just hanging out there.
Well, Daniel,
And props to Hosfield if he's out there anywhere. He was a real friend, hooked me up, helped a lot. So
Hosfield?
yeah,
Tim.
Tim Hosfield.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he is cool
yeah,
dude.
he was
Yeah.
such a cool dude.
So I was just hanging out because they were there that same year. He got hurt though, so they were hauled out. Then I was like just bailed out, totally solo at Loretta's.
Yeah, it was
like
like
nobody.
He's like, leave
And,
Daniel with us. We're good. And then I took a airplane,
hurt, so they were out.
helicopter ride to
But,
the
yeah.
hospital. So
Nah, Tim was cool as shit. He was like helping me put numbers on the bike and just like,
Yeah.
'cause I had no clue what I was doing out there.
Which is kind of funny because
like talked with that dude and know of that dude
Yeah.
a good bit, but I don't think I've seen or heard from him for years, like a decade. But
This was multiple decades ago.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's been a while since I've heard or seen
Yeah.
anything from him.
Oh yeah,
He was
But-
such a nice
that
guy.
was back in the day.
So what about the golf cart
The what?
situation? So
Golf cart?
From what I remember you telling me,
Which
there was a
one?
golf cart situation with you and Richard.
Oh, I don't know if
Yeah,
I
I
want to
was-
steal his thunder on that one.
Well, I thought he was coming in for the show. He didn't show. So tell the story. Because you've told me and it's fucking hilarious.
I'll give you the Cliff Notes version of it. It was so we went up there to hang out, and so we hopped in and we are just gonna go for a ride. You know, we had the cooler on there and everything. We hadn't
What
been
year
out.
would have this been?
That's what I was just trying to remember. I think it may have been like 03, 04, something
Okay.
like that. It's pretty early 2000s.
But still the rule of you don't take the golf cart into the lake or into the
I
creek.
think that rule
That
has
was
been
a rule.
established for a while. But yeah, I mean, it was like his dad was still back there just getting the RV leveled up and all that good stuff, and we already had the wheels impounded. So good times. Went back up there and they didn't check the cooler, so that was beautiful on Richard's part. Went back up there, got our cooler because that's all we had for the whole week.
Well, from what I remember you telling me is you guys went up and were like, yeah, we messed up, but that has all our drinks for the whole week. Can
Yeah,
we
it
get
was
our cooler back?
It was all our race Gatorade.
Yeah.
Again, Gatorade comes into the picture.
Yeah, so you
So-
begged them to get your Gatorade back, but there was no Gatorade. It was all alcohol.
How come?
That was beautiful
how come
because we were
Richard-
all up there. It was like, damn, how did we get in trouble so fast?
Yeah, because it was within the first like 15 minutes of being there,
No,
right?
I mean, like there was, it was immediate. It was-
Richard
like-
is always involved with the golf cart story.
yeah, there's been a few.
Do you know the mule?
Yeah, no, I was in the mule, so I know that one.
What's the mule story? I've never heard this one.
The
Uh,
mule story?
Yeah.
Oh god, that one was funny. I didn't know what was going on. All I knew is we were just hanging out over at his track, and he had like a set of rockers. And before that, there was like a double going into a rocker section. And we were just screwing around, and he just looked over at me and was like, and he had like this funny grin and a giggle. He's like, hey, watch this. This is fun. And you know, I already knew Richard, so I had my seatbelt on, fortunately. And but I didn't know what was about to happen. And so we go into reverse, and I mean, you know, they have rev limiters, but I mean, it was still doing everything it could off the rev limiter. So we're going just, you know, full pedal rev limiter through the rockers backwards, and somehow we got offline a little bit, and we got half the landing in the double and ended up in the ditch beside that, upside down. So,
And then,
but it was beautiful because it was perfect recovery. I don't think anybody knew any different. Flips back over.
well, Richard jumped out screaming, "Oh my God, my dad's gonna kill me!" And it flipped over easily, like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, and his dad, you know, is like the master of just being slick.
Yeah.
Like he was walking out there, and then like right at the last second, it just like flipped this big old blob of mud off the top of the ROPS. It's like, but it was fun. I mean, you gotta get all your money's worth out of it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, just
gotta
wear your
make it happen.
seatbelt, kids.
all right. So I do feel like we should start to wrap this thing up, but there is one story that we've been dreading talking about, and we're going to talk about it right now. And by the look on your face, Brad, I can tell it's one of those things that's going to be tough. But honestly, it's one of those things that's, fuck, I'm starting to get choked up. Like, so talking about Richard Sheriff. So there was an incident in Georgia that happened at Bremen with Richard Sheriff's dad and Brad. And it's kind of one of those things I always wanted to hear your side of the story on it. And like what happened, what you felt, like what you went through with that, because I know it's just gnarly. So
let's get into it. Let's rip the Band-Aid. Let's talk about it. So,
Yeah. So it was like, it was Thursday night practice.
at Bremen.
Yeah.
Yep.
They did all the time. The big table. I think at that time,
What year was this?
I don't know.
It was 05 because I just got out of the hospital. That's how I know it. Like I was at home. I just got home.
So this was still when it was huge.
Oh yeah,
Like-
because
like
they called it
90.
80 foot for the longest time, but it got down to 60 foot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
So it
in
was,
09 area
yeah.
times. Yeah.
So it was 80 and 90 feet.
Yeah.
But no, it was just practice, and I caught Dale in the section before, and then coming into the corner before the table, and it's just I just took the inside, he took the outside, and he was ahead of me, but like coming up to the tabletop, I was passing him, and Dale didn't jump it. He typically jump halfway, and so I guess he went off the jump. Either we went off at the same time or he went off a little bit ahead of me,
Yeah.
but I, stayed low off of it.
He went up a little bit higher.
He went higher, but I guess because the line that was on the outside kind of was rutted to where it
drifted into the
it
inside.
shot you kind of more towards the middle.
Yeah.
And so in the air, I actually ended up under him. And when we were coming down, his front tire landed on my back fender. And
Huh.
I don't know if it was me. I don't know if we ever made it to the landing. Like, I don't know if it was midair where I was under him and he was above me and we just kind of hit as he was coming down. I don't know. But I remember he kind of landed on the back of my bike and we both went down. And I've like, ever since that first shoulder injury, like I've popped out my shoulder a million times. And so I know I was unconscious. I remember someone came over and they pulled my goggles off and they were like talking to me like, are you okay? Like trying to see if I was coherent.
Yeah.
And I remember waking up and my shoulder was fucked up and that was it. Like I went to the hospital and like when you're in an injury and you've had like head trauma, like it's almost like you hear everything that's happening, but you can't see
Yeah,
it,
but
right?
it's just like a daze of
Yeah.
things that are going on around
Yeah.
you and you don't really understand what's happening
Right.
kind of thing. Yeah, yeah.
I feel like at one point we might have even been in the same room, but I'm not really sure. But I know they gave me like 3 shots of morphine. They were like, oh, there's one shot, and I was like, yep, still hurts, like
Yeah, yeah.
So they finally set my shoulder, and I went home, and probably I don't know, week and a half later, I heard that he ended up in a coma, and so Dale was in a coma for a while. I don't know the duration,
Yeah.
and then later on he passed away, and
And that's wild. Like, I never heard the part that you're like under him. Usually, if you're under, you're the one to get the worst of it. In most cases,
Yeah.
right?
well, I think it's because he was behind me. Like it's not like he landed on top of me. Like he clipped my back end.
And it's like a head or
And
like a
then-
swap.
Yeah.
So,
So I
and
don't.
honestly, that kind of makes a little bit more sense then, because if you're at the downside of the landing and you hit that right, you have more time to have to go to where you hit, which just increases
Yeah.
momentum.
So I don't really know what his injury was from that. I just know that like I remember hearing like, okay, well, Dale's, he also was injured. He ended up in the hospital too, and then like trying to keep up with it because it was, I mean, this was obviously like pre social media and all that stuff, so it's not that easy to like
Yeah.
keep track of someone. But yeah, when I found out that he passed away, I was like, holy shit, like.
Yeah, because I mean, like you, Daniel,
And
Richard,
Richard,
like best
yeah.
friends.
Yeah, we like rode. I mean, we rode all. We all three of us rode at each other's tracks. Like
Yep.
we always were doing shit together.
Yeah, because I would say within 20 minutes, it was all three of your guys' places. They
That
all
was
had
back,
cool
like I was
tracks.
running with Richard a lot back then too.
Yeah.
Like off the track, we were hanging a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Richard was. He was at my first bachelor party.
Yeah.
Like in early 2000s. So like.
And
Or-
Daniel's running around at his wedding with a
Right.
dirt
yeah.
bike with a vest
Yeah.
on. No,
So-
I've always known you guys were like a tight knit crew. And honestly, I texted Richard about it. Now that you guys know when we were off air about how he was planning to come in.
Yeah.
So,
But I mean, honestly, like, so when I found out, I was, of course, I was like, I mean, you don't know what to feel. It's like, do you feel responsible? Do you feel like this, I, spent so much time with Richard. It's like,
yeah.
how is he gonna feel? How's he gonna react? Like,
Is he gonna think you're responsible for it and
right?
hate you?
I mean, there's
Kinda one
like
of those things.
there's tons of stuff, and
Yeah.
and when I think I called Richard, and he was just like, I mean, he was the most genuine, like, coolest person ever. I mean, he was like, look, my dad loved to ride, and he would have rode till he couldn't, and he literally did. Like, he
Yeah.
passed away doing what he loved.
Yeah.
And he knew the risks, and he's like, motocross is a freak thing always. Like, you never know.
And
what's gonna
honestly,
happen.
that speaks a lot about Richard's character. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it could have been very easy for him to just hate you and blame you and all that stuff. But that's reality. I mean, how many times have we joked about, like, we want to go out on a dirt bike or getting laid, right? Like, that's the truth. Like, as dudes. Oh, sorry, Daniel. You want to go out doing math?
I was debating it in my head.
Okay.
I was.
Well, you just went to Thailand lately, so we're not sure where your mind is. But I'm just trying to light the mood here because I don't want to start fucking crying on this thing.
Yeah.
But no, but I mean, for real, that speaks characters to that. And I've known Richard as long as I've known you guys and heard the story, and I never really got to hear all the info that went along with that.
No, I mean, I truly felt humbled and really blessed by the way he responded.
Yeah.
Because, it's like you said, like anybody could just be like, I'm gonna blame you, and be mad and upset about you, and put this hurt on you. But like, he's obviously like he's got a good headspace. So like, it's like my dad was doing what he loved, and he knew the risks. So like,
and honestly, it's taking another step back. Architect, engineer, he had spine problems, right, Daniel? You've told me about this, right?
What's that?
He had I can't think of the name right now, but Richard had spine problems, and they fixed it, and you told me he grew like 6 inches, right? And he ended up being like going in a nurse, right? Like, that's a respected profession.
Practitioner.
Yeah, that exactly. What is it again? Because I was talking over you.
Practitioner.
Yeah. So, dude, like the path that you guys went on with what you guys did with dirt bikes, it's kind of pretty impressive with what you guys did with that shit. So,
his dad was. He was a cool guy. Like he had his quirks, like everybody's dad.
Yeah.
Right. But like he was always like I always looked at Dale as like kind of like a little bit like set back, like kind of just stern. But like if you can make Dale laugh, like I feel like that was an achievement, you know?
Yeah.
So like he was an interesting guy. So but I always thought that he was a very intelligent but a cool individual.
Mm-hmm.
Just not very outgoing. So like you had to kind of
Break the shell kind of
meander
thing.
in there and like
Yeah.
find his like weak funny points or whatever. So no, he was a cool guy. And yeah, I mean like Richard's definitely an awesome person.
Yeah. I mean, dude, for him and his family and his grandma to go through that and still let Brandon and I go over and ride their backyard track for years, you know what I mean? Like shows that like all the shit that people worry about with tracks and this and that, like no, they just want people to have a good time and know that they love that sport. So
Yeah. Because I mean it's a risk.
yeah.
It is 100%. It doesn't matter what you do. Like, I mean, you literally can walk across the street and get hit by a car. Like, it doesn't matter what you're doing.
Dude, I can't remember the whole details of it, but somehow my wife looked into this government person's story, and his job was like to go and check meters or whatever, and got hit by a car. Right? So every time I'm going to the mailbox, I think about that dude for some weird reason, where I'm like, hey, I'm just going to check the mail. You
This
better be
might be
fucking
it.
looking the direction of the cars that are coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because you never know.
You really don't.
Yeah.
I mean, of course it's high risk, like whatever, but
Yeah.
I mean,
And honestly, for me, it's more like I've done all this stupid shit my whole life. Like things where the normal person would go, yeah, I'm not going to do that. But I've gone, no. Fuck it. You guys have both been there, right? So it's like, I don't want to go out that way. So it's kind of my fucked up mentality of, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
I mean, the reality is you just got so much energy when you're going with a bike with that weight,
yeah.
at that speed. It's just, you really just get lucky a lot of the times that
Oh yeah.
you don't stop very quickly.
Oh, I mean, hell, that's one of the reasons why I don't like going up on ladders. Because if
To
something
stop.
happens and I fall, it's a direct hit. As where if I'm 30 feet up and crashing on a dirt bike, I'm carrying forward momentum that I can roll with, right? A ladder, it's just my theory behind it, anyways. But, all right, we got through that shit. Should we talk about some fun stuff before we try to end, or should we just wrap this shit up now?
It's up to you. I got a few more in me if you want.
All right. We'll do a few more fun ones or ones you text me, then we'll wrap the show up. So about, I lost my spoke wrench.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Tell us about that.
So, I don't, like when you're trying to go to Loretta's, it's like that is everything, right? Getting to
Yeah,
Loretta's, it's like
nothing-
I gotta do everything I can to get there. And so my dad was like so fucking crazy about like us having the best chance. So he's like, we're gonna go to Michigan and run this area qualifier. I'm like, okay. So we go to Log Road, which is by far the absolute best dirt. Like Pax Track,
Yeah.
like that black sand. Well, Log Road was like, it was like the black sand, but it was like black sand mixed with like creek loam. Like this dirt, I mean, it was untouched anywhere. It was incredible. So we went up there. We were running 3 classes. We were running stock 80s, mod 80s, and we were running super mini. And they had this section where it was like kind of a downhill, and then you had this triple. and the triple kind of came up out of this hill. It was sort of like a step up, and there was nothing I could do to make it on an 80. Like, I was everything I could possibly do in my power to try and clear this triple on an 80. It just wasn't happening. But it was a faster line. So every single lap of that race, I basically like, it was like a soft case on this triple. Like, but it was faster to do that than to do the double. And I mean, I got shitty starts, ran from like 20th all the way back up to first, and I was just hitting this triple and just smacking that back wheel every single time. Blew all the spokes out of my stock bike. Next race, 85 mod. Blew all the spokes out of my 85 mod. Next race, 105s. Blew all the, like, literally half the race, my back tire was like this because half the spokes were gone. And I was still just hitting that triple every single lap. Made it, and I qualified for the res in 3 different classes at that track with half spokes and the all back wheels. And then, like, in between races, my dad was like, fuck, like, we only have one, we have a practice bike. I'm just going to swap that one over. Like, I just destroyed every single wheel that we had. And I'm just like, have you not been, like, fucking checking the spokes? Like, what's happening here? Went through all of them.
So, well, we already talked about those pesky neutrals. What about the Cernix invitation gone wrong?
I
love the.
That was supposed to be my glory days. So, somehow my dad had got in touch with Cernix, and they were like, we've been watching you, been looking at you, and we want you to come up to Pennsylvania to race at our track, and we want to see how you do, because we're looking at maybe offering you a sponsorship. So, you know, of course, for me as a Suzuki rider, I'm like, oh my God, really? And so I go up there, and Brock Hepler was there that weekend. And so I raced Brock Hepler, and there was one double on the back of the track that was like, it was right out of a corner. And you had like 25 feet, and it was like a 70-foot double, just that you had to like rail the corner, seat bounce, and maybe every other lap I was hitting it. And then the rest of the time I was like, nah, I can't do it. So I would lead Brock. We get to that double. If I didn't do it, he'd pass me. And then the other section of the track, I'd pass him back because my ground speed was faster. And we went back and forth that entire race. And that's actually where, like, the guy who was the announcer he's like, Brad Richards is
was it Richards or Richard?
Brad Richards is out in front. My mom, literally, she was like a fucking Nazi. She went up in the booth, like, climbed the stairs, went up in the announcer booth, and she's like, it's Richard. And he was like, well, that sounds French. Where are you from? She's like, Louisiana. He's like, Cajun Rocket 76. So, like, that started a whole thing. But so
That's great.
she was, don't fuck with Italians. But so, like, after that race, he was like, Cernix they said, let's see how you do at the RM Cup.
Yeah.
And which is like a month and a half away at Muddy Creek. They're like, let's see how you do there, and then we'll decide like what we want to do. And I was like, okay, cool. So we go to Muddy Creek, and we're in practice. Dude, my lap times, I literally, like, I was smoking Brock. I was keeping up with Davey, Millsaps. My lap times were out of control. My dad was like, this is what we've been looking for. And then he's like, the first turn off the start, stay out of the inside. Like, it is getting so rutted. He's like, don't go to the inside. So we take off first race, and maybe 2 laps in, I go through the inside. My foot got caught, drug under my bike, snapped my ankle, and like I rolled off the track, rode all the way to the trailer. I couldn't get off the bike because like literally, like it folded up under.
Yeah.
Way to go, Alpine Stars. And so like I'm sitting there just with my leg up on the bike, just waiting for them to get back. And then they finally get back, and they're like, my dad, like, he's so mad. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I cannot move my leg. He's like, fucking told you not to go on that inside. Like, I cannot move my leg. He's like, get off the bike. I'm like, I cannot move my, like, throwing shit in the trailer. He was so mad. They didn't take me to a doctor for like 3 weeks. I got to the doctor, and he was like,
because you're going to learn today.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. I got to the doctor, and he's like, you have shattered your joint in your ankle. I'm like, really? So I had a cast all the way up to here. And my like leg was like stuck like this. And I obviously didn't get a ride from Cernix. So.
All right. Well, I feel like we've touched base on most everything that I've kind of written down. Yeah. Like most everything's been touched on.
Bye.
So, boys, should we wrap up the show? All right. I don't remember if I played all the sponsors that I'm supposed to.
Do it again.
They get paid extra for that shit.
And for the closing remarks, that's right.
No, but for real, both you two, I've known you for a long time, and it's always been a good time to like hang around or party or do dumb shit with. I'm sure it'll continue at some point. So
Eventually, definitely.
Well, he just went to Thailand for his anniversary honeymoon thing, so
yeah,
like he's transitioned, kinds of other weird stuff. So we'll touch on
From what I remember, you went also though. Is that
Dude,
right?
honestly,
And yours was
my
totally
wife and
for no
I.
good reason.
My wife and I went to Thailand for our honeymoon. We went to Bangkok, and there's some amazing stories that have come out of that.
Is it like Hangover 3?
No. So the funny thing is it happened a year after the Hangover 2. So we're walking down one of the streets, and we're both like, we know this place. And it turns out that was one of the scenes that was filmed in the Hangover 2. We were like, holy shit. Like, we didn't know. But
That's
yeah,
so funny.
Yeah, there was a lot of funny stuff with that. All right, so I always try to get there's a bunch of segments that I usually try to do, but because I was on vacation last week, I didn't get to get the info from it. One of the things is my kid telling a story. So I forgot to get one. I've got a really good one for next show for the Christmas story he gave me. But I had my dad bring him back by and give me a good story for today. So here is my kid. And this is unscripted. I literally just said, B, tell me a story. And he told me a story about him and my dog. No, he and my dog robbing a bank together.
A surprise story.
It's a surprise story?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, what's the story then?
It's a surprise story.
Well, tell me the surprise story. Let's go.
Well, once upon a time, me and Frankie came on a motorcycle. Once upon a time, me and Frankie came on a motorcycle.
Uh-huh.
And guess what we did?
What'd you do?
We went on a motorcycle. And guess what we did on the motorcycle?
What did you do on the motorcycle?
We went to a bank and robbed it.
You went to a bank and robbed it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what part did Frankie have to do with this? Was she did she carry the gun around too, or was she just a watchdog? Make sure nobody hit the button.
She was a police dog.
Whoa, you robbed a bank with Frankie looking like a police dog?
Yeah, we dressed up. We dressed up as a police.
Oh, okay, so that she walked in and people just thought it was just a nice police officer there.
Yeah.
But then you guys robbed the place.
Yeah.
Genius, honestly.
After.
All right, done with your pee break. Let's go.
Now, then, what was that? Oh, yeah, police. Me and Frankie dressed up as a police, and Frankie kind of had those little white things on her?
Yeah.
We shaved that off and put brown hair on it.
Oh. That way they wouldn't recognize her? Oh, that's pretty smart. So what'd you guys do to get away from after you robbed them?
We stole their jet too.
You stole the bank's jet?
Yeah, we stole their underwater jet.
Oh, okay. And then you got away that way?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Any other parts to the story?
Then you know who jumped in?
Who?
Fenley and Bonnie and Matt.
All the other dogs around the family?
Uh-huh.
Nice. All right, any other parts to the story?
Then, you know what was in the water?
What was in the water?
A big bloop.
Big bloop?
Yeah.
What's a bloop?
It's a big shark. It's like from big sides with a big open mouth all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and then goes.
Oh, okay.
And you know what?
What?
His mouth stay opens all the time, and guess what? He can eat a giant skyscraper.
Cool. At the end of the story?
Bye.
Well, I got a question for you, sir. What kind of dirt bike do you have? Your KTM.
Yes.
Is it electric or gas?
Electric.
Okay. Tell the people what you want me to do to it.
Put an exhaust pipe on it.
You want me to put an exhaust pipe on your electric dirt bike, but you don't want it to make noise, right? You just want it to look like it has an exhaust? All right. That's all. Great story, buddy.
You wanna talk about me? I got shorty in the darkness. With cups and rolling dice. We get no place now. We think twice, yeah. And when this whole takes slower, felt like it's trying to shake us. To what we knew. It can try, but it never break us. It can try, but it never break us. Like we can't function on this level. You laugh at who we are. You're the joke that's taken too far. It's complexion over. We won't let it take us down. We just can't get closer. 10 years